So this Allah Abid El Fattah thing is really blowing up, and yes, I do have the parrot back on my
Hello,
shoulder.
beautiful.
She's being a bit shy.
Hello, baby.
Do you want to see everyone? Not really. Doesn't want to be part of politics. Anyway, this is just totally blowing up, but slightly for the wrong reasons. But we can force the reasons, I think. As you can see, this is Keir Starmer being like, "Thank God, this guy's case has been a top priority for our government," as we covered in the previous video about it. But man, turns out everyone's like, "Wow, this guy seems like a maniac, absolute lunatic," which isn't really surprising when you've got like an Egyptian social justice Islamist activist. Unsurprisingly, he's fucking bonkers. And people are like, you know what? Not sure it's great. Although, let's have a look at the BBC article about it. You can tell it's very sanitized. Very sanitized. You don't actually get to see any of his posts. They don't actually give you any of the actual posts. And notice how they say here, well, Conservatives have called for a British Egyptian activist to be deported and his UK citizenship revoked after social media messages emerged of him calling for Zionists to be killed. Really? Just Zionists, was it? Or is that the only kind of person that the BBC, or the Conservative Party, should we say, actually care about? Sorry, no, he went a bit further than this. And, you know, don't get me wrong, good that Robert Jenrick's like, yeah, he shouldn't be here. But it's not just because he called for Zionists to be killed, is it? And there is only actually one mention of white people in this whole thing. From Adrian Cohen, who's the vice president of the British Board of the Board of Deputies of British Jews. His previous extremist and violent rhetoric aimed at Zionists and white people in general is threatening British Jews and the wider public. Sorry, isn't it threatening us as well? Robert Jenrick, do you not think you should be specifically highlighting this above and beyond anyone else? Because he's a maniac, and he seems to genuinely hate white people with a passion that is rarely seen outside of the average Democrat town hall meeting. I mean, like, this is just crazy. Like, his Arabic tweets are just full on. I seriously hate white people, especially those of English or Dutch or German descent. Yeah, you said you hate white people. They are the white people. But that's weirdly specific, isn't it? Like, what have you got against the Protestants, is what you're saying, right? There's something about the Northwestern European Protestant that really drives him mad, and he just fucking hates them. Which is why he's come to live in England. Thank God he's here. But of course, it gets worse. Obviously. Like, Labour are like, what? It gets worse. Unfortunately, the Iranian nuclear project isn't dedicated to the extermination of the white man. What? Sorry. Well, I mean, he's calling for Zionists to be killed. Bro, he's calling for the extermination of the white man? Like, because they seem to be the people he hates the most? That's pretty mad. And that's pretty bloody unacceptable. And remember, This is Keir Starmer's top priority. Literally top priority. To get someone who thinks that the white man should be exterminated from the face of the earth because he hates him more than anyone else in the world. And Keir Starmer's like, top priority. Absolute top priority. I mean, there's nothing more important. Even the 24-hour courts weren't as important as getting this guy into the country. It's fucking mad. And sorry, like, this community note. Oh, there's a history of anti-Semitic comments. Okay, I mean, yeah, he does, but he's also got some quite anti-white comments, which I think is a bit more pertinent, given this is our country. It's not like he got fucking refuge in Israel, is it? But anyway, apparently it's just so much worse in his post in Arabic. This one, if we can't kill the officers, let us find a terroristic cell to kill their children and torture their mothers. Jesus Christ. Like, that was in 2012 as well. But anyway, what I love is you can see here, the free alarm movement with just total bellends like Bill Nye, Judi Dench, what was it? Paul Mason's down there. Somehow Paul Mason's, Yanis Varoufakis, Stephen Fry, you know, all Neil Gaiman, all of the sort of libtard bellends who are just like, oh yeah, you know, oh, this poor Egyptian activist, he's an Islamo-communist libtard. He's part of, as we talked about in the previous video, our kind of soft power ideological subversion of foreign countries. And so we recognize him as our man. Now, a lot of people are like, well, he's probably an asset. Maybe. Honestly, though, he seems a bit much of a loose cannon for an asset. I imagine people who are actually paid and trained by MI6 or the CIA or whoever are probably a bit more, well reined in. Like, surely you don't go, yeah, what we want is the extermination of the white man by Iran's nuclear project. That's what we want, to be for. Like, this is the sort of thing that just, it's obviously going to blow you up, right? As in your cover, your agency as an activist, as an agent of the West. Like, this is obviously going to ruin.
You forgot your vitamins for.
And so it's like, and then and also going like, I hate Israel. I want all the Zionists killed. Blah blah blah.
You double up tonight.
Like, this sort of thing. If this guy was actually an asset, I would expect him to be just more circumspect about the things he would post. Anyway, these total bellends. Yes, this is exactly the kind of thing they support. The total extermination of the white man, says Emma Thompson, Emily Watson, like a bunch of no-names, actually. Mark Ruffalo. Oh, yeah. They did this video where they're reading out one of his poems from when he was in jail. And they're like, yeah, oh, it's so tragic. It's like, dude, he literally wants to have the families and children of police officers tortured. Like, you are mad people who, again, it's all about virtue signaling to these, I'm just going to keep calling them bellends. It's all about virtue signaling to these absolute twats. There's nothing to it. They don't know anything about him. They just know, oh, he's been locked up by the evil Egyptian government, which is an evil government. It's like, you don't know anything about them. You don't know anything about him. But you've been told because you are just sheep. You are total sheep. And the thing is, right, look at this. As Daniel Hannan points out, Starmer is trying to claim he had no idea about El Fattah's social media posts, yet here he is raising the issue in Parliament 3 years ago. Note the extraordinary double standard. Tweet the wrong thing in Britain, you'll serve 13 months. Tweet the wrong thing in Egypt and we'll bring you here, pay you up, pay for your son's special school while you call us apes and boast of hating of white people. I mean, good on Daniel Hannan for nailing the, yes, he hates white people, literally calling for a white genocide in a nuclear holocaust. And Keir Starmer here back in 2022. May I start by raising the case of Alaa Abd al Fattah? As the Prime Minister knows, he's a British citizen jailed for the crime of posting on social media. Imagine! British citizens jailed for the crime of posting on social media, Keir. Like Lucy Connolly and all of the other thousands of other people after the Southport riots. That you said there'd be 24-hour courts to deal with. Imagine British citizens jailed for social media posts. And as Daniel points out, to then say, oh, I had no idea what his social media history was like. It's like, well then, that's interesting. I don't believe you. Well, actually, no, I do believe you. I just think you're a twat who has double standards, as with all things. But anyway, how did he even get the citizenship? And this is from the Telegraph. Fattah was automatically granted British citizenship in 2021 by the Conservatives, who all campaigned for him, by the way, under an immigration law which allows mothers to transmit their UK citizenship to their children, even if they're outside of Britain, as in, these are not British people. His mother was born in London while his grandmother was studying in the UK, so she's an anchor baby. So an anchor baby managed to transmit
What's the question marks for? Can you know me? Can you hear me? I see the hearts. Must be.
I'm gonna start this video with an object permanence test. Just I gotta make sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we share the main storyline quests. Let's see. So all the ones that are world progress quests. So I think all these ones. I'm pretty sure we share these ones. And then all the ones we get from the vendors and stuff like that. I think those are individual to our character because you have to pick them up from the quest giver. Can you not hear me? Is this mic off? Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Can I see your cooking pot quest? I don't know, let me look. Cooking station for the farmer. Is that the one? Cooking station. Can you do that one for me? I don't want to do it. Yeah. I could absolutely do that one for you. I do this. Show on map. This one. Size waypoint. Oh, it's far out there. I see why you don't want to do it. It's gonna be a trick to get over there. Oh, you're fine. I just want to make sure it still works. I need some goo. What do you make that from?
You guys see me here, right? I'm here. Am I gone to you? Am I back? I need to know that you can pass that before we can move on. Cause I'm kind of blown away here. I feel like I'm a little shocked by this discourse. And now you got me saying I gotta do discourse on my first day back. I just had a really, really nice vacation with my family. I played board games and read books pretty much every day. Now I gotta come back and do discourse. Okay, look, here's the deal. Let me give you the context, because we're talking about context a lot today. 2 days ago, I make a video about essentially government fraud in general and my thoughts on it. And I used this Nick Shirley video and the Somali Minnesota situation as the kickoff for that. I used it as the in. And I got 6 ass threads on my Reddit who I swear to God did not watch this video. Because when I fucking read it, I can't, I don't understand. Were they watching the same video that I made? My mind is blown. And so I'm reminded of this thread I saw on Our Teachers. Listen, the kids can read every word that I'm putting in front of them, but if you ask them to say what it means, like what was the paragraph you just read? What was the takeaway from it? They can't do it. It just, their mind blanks out. So I want to do 2 concepts of media literacy. I just want to break these down. The first one is context. Context is what happens before and after. The things around a word or phrase or section or visual to give it meaning, to inform it. Okay, the context matters. If I tell you nice shirt, on its own, that might mean, oh, I really like your shirt. But if I say, fuck you, nice shirt, idiot, well, that's important context. The before and after really informs that particular phrase. And it helps you find takeaways. What is the overall takeaway of a piece? For example,
Did
if
you see the
just
purple
saw
ring I
the
got?
clip of
No,
Walter
I was
White
just in
saying,
there.
I am the danger in this stupid hat, you might think, oh, the point
Ring
of
of the
Breaking Bad is that
Flame.
Breaking Bad is cool and Walter
Shroud
White is great.
resistance +6.
That
Time
might
in
be your
shroud
takeaway.
+1.
But if you watch the whole piece, you
Ah.
might realize that, oh, okay,
I like
the overall
that.
takeaway here is that Walter White is a monster, and this is a dangerous, terrible path to go down that's left him alone and
I
broken.
don't remember.
I
What
want
do
to
I
go
have
through,
on?
this maybe seem a little pedantic, but I want to go
Life
through like,
Leech?
point by point what I'm trying to hit in this video from 2 days ago. And we're going to
And
take a look at the
regeneration?
context and the takeaway, because that's what I would like to be judged on, all right? So this particular section, this is the one that a lot of people were crashing out on, which, surprise, surprise, is in the first like 30 seconds. Surprise. And I show this clip from Nick Shirley. And the reason I show this is not because I am platforming Nick Shirley. It is because this video has been pushed
Yeah.
by Elon Musk to
I have a feeling,
141 million people. That is
Spending
like
more time in the
40% of
shroud's going to be
entire
needed
Twitter
as we
user
venture
base.
further out.
It's on.
So that's going to be very
TV
useful.
news. It is everywhere. This is a massive video. I'm not platforming shit. I am responding to this exogenous event.
I'll wear
as
it.
a
I'll see how
way
it does.
To bring a different narrative than what is being pushed with it. That is the point. So let's start with the before and after. Now, this is the beginning of the video. So for before, let's look at the context of my fucking channel. I got people in the comments being like, wow, are you pivoting MAGA? Are you just buying what Elon Musk says wholesale? Bro, I've got like, I'm in a cottage industry out of questioning what Elon Musk says. You think I take Elon Musk at face value? It's frustrating, bro. It's frustrating, okay? I have a whole video where I go into my detailed thoughts on ICE and how this administration is being brutal with immigrants, okay? And how it's demonizing and causing fear and hatred in the communities. Do you understand? Like, this context matters because it shows that I am trying to bring a deeper understanding to what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be a gotcha on either side. I'm trying to understand and learn and know where people are coming from to give them a better takeaway. And by the way, when I got the screenshot of me holding up the flag from the ICE video, that one of the top comments was this: I think he's trying to reach his audience that is more likely to be influenced by the misinformation. You got to package things right to get people who actually need to hear it. I think it's a very powerful thumbnail. I mean, powerful comment. I really appreciate what this guy said. It reminds me of a similar video I made where around the H-1B stuff, this guy made a fucking Twitter video that went super viral. This also went viral. And I watched this video and I said, look, some parts of this video are funny. I can see why this would be appealing to someone, but it's like a cup of poison, okay? They give you a little bit of a taste of the good stuff and then you fall into the cup of poison. It's like that was my whole metaphor about how, you know, a few things that you agree with in something like this might be a way to put a much worse narrative on it. So this is a context that's important going in. This context is what allows me to make a thumbnail like, the economy is saved with Donald Trump. Do you think that I literally mean the economy is saved? Or do you think perhaps there's a deeper takeaway here? Okay, so in this video, when I open by saying, hey, look, there's parts I don't like, but there's some good journalism there. I am damning with faint praise. Okay.
It's like everyone being afraid because they want to put up speed traps. Well, I guess if you speed, you would be afraid. Yeah, it's the whole bot and melee thing. They present this argument of being like, hey, immigrants, you know, should be allowed in, and then the other people are like, oh, we're just talking about illegal immigrants. right now, but they're like, oh yeah, you're talking about illegal immigrants right now, but eventually you're gonna want all immigrants. And I mean, I don't know. I understand the worry, but as long as we stick to illegal immigrants, I feel like they should be on our side about it, but they're not, because I think they genuinely think that, Trump and all them, they're just gonna start denaturalizing and getting all the immigrants out.
Okay? I follow it immediately by calling the younger guy in the video a clout-obsessed Zoomer. I am merely saying that the fact that they got all the records.
Why would you want that? If it hasn't happened yet, then what the fuck being worried about something like that we're so afraid could happen? Well, it's the same logic of being like, how we think, gay marriage kind of desanctified marriage, which has caused a lot of other bad things to happen. If you had told people back before gay marriage was a thing that was going to happen, they would have said, why are you worried about that? We're just talking about two people getting married who love each other. Some trends do trend a certain direction, and it's it's one of those things that you have to at least understand where the worry comes from. They should denaturalize terrorist rates. People aren't allowed to our country. Stay past their beaches. Doesn't make sense. One is within and one is without. Yeah. I do agree that kind of like the problems of your household are your household's problems. It's the whole if your son was a killer thing. Would you would you disown him and be like, well, he's my son. So. That being said, the thought process is the same. I'm sure there are better examples of being like maybe like a war thing. right to jail. Yeah. Maybe war would be a better example of being like we're just going over there to help them get their shit together, and then you guys end up slippery sloping into putting in a new government and stealing all their oil. Under the jail. Yeah, you and I agree that like the Japanese, dishonor to your family.
Of all of the spending by all these different
Senpuku.
organizations and the addresses, and found that many of them were listed on the same address, is worth giving an opening to, okay? Because we're getting 100 million people watching this video, many of whom are super angry at it. They're riled up. And I don't want to open by saying, dismissing it. I don't want to be dismissive. I don't want to throw it away. I want to say, listen, there's some stuff here worth talking about. Let's get into it. I want to open with...
Marriage was a good slippery slope for the left. It worked in their favor to speed up identity politics, and somehow they're worried about illegals being a slippery slope. So strange. Tough listen. Yeah. This is a tough listen. This John Manning, the illegal thing, and pretending ICE is the damn admin, treating them the same. Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be gross.
What's up, everyone? I'm back at my dad's place, and I have a microphone on my beard. That means only one thing. You guessed it. Catfish. Could you have possibly guessed that from what I said? No. But now you need to subscribe. Catfish. Great series. I like everyone from there. It's the coolest series. They usually help a lot of people out who are on the internet and do some dank stuff. Usually it's older people, and in this case, the lady seems kind of like she's a mummy that came back to life. So I was kind of scary. Trigger warning. If you hate mummies, probably not gonna like her. But I tell you who actually needs a trigger warning. Our boy Drew, who might actually need counseling after the episode. This lady is, as the title suggests, a grandma who likes to send bobs and maybe even vagine to people. So how about that, guys? Prepare yourselves. I'm Suvi, and this is another investigation into catfish. By the way, guys, today's video is sponsored by MyHeritage, a global family history and genetic testing service that helps you uncover your roots. Sounds pretty cool. Let me tell you about it. Okay, so once I got the kit, I did the cheek swab, sent off my sample, put it in this little bag here, and just a couple weeks later, I got my results back. Okay, it's a few weeks later, the results are in. Let's see what my DNA says. Suvi, you are 100% South Asian. What? But what's even crazier is how specific it really got with it. It pinpointed the exact region, from Chennai to Gujarat. MyHeritage also DNA matched me with real people. 13 relatives that I didn't know I had, and I actually know 2 of them. So for it to be this good, I was like shocked. You can even go deeper, tracing ancient origins or building out a full family tree right inside MyHeritage. They've tested millions of users, covered more regions than any other service, and they let you explore over 2,000 geographic areas. And don't worry, your data is safe. MyHeritage commits to never selling or licensing your data. It's private, and that's their policy. So if you've ever been curious about where you're really from or who's out there that shares your blood, MyHeritage has got the answers. Use the coupon code 16Leo to receive a 10% discount when ordering the kit. As a bonus, you will receive a free 30-day trial for MyHeritage's Family Tree History Research feature. Let's take a look at Debbie.
Serial dating and
I'm online serial searching.
Debbie. Right there, that's the first look we get at Debbie. Now, I gotta be honest, I didn't know if Debbie was okay. I don't know how to say that like a PC, because I'm not a computer. So I thought Debbie was a little crazy, but it turns out the only thing she's crazy about is men with hairy chests. But I'll let her explain that soon.
Men with
Just
hairy
by the way,
chests.
before we fully start, does
Gross.
anybody have someone who's getting catfished? Like who, could get catfished? I don't think my parents would ever get catfished, but I feel like they almost easily can fall for like phishing scams, which very much scares me. Sometimes my mom goes on her email and she's like, "Oh, what's this?" And I'm like, "Oh no, don't click anything. Just stop clicking." So I do get worried about like my parents. I also worry about myself because I know in the future I'm gonna fall for something. It'll be like some AI holograph and they'll be like, "Dad, you're not. Yes, you think you're slow whining on Rihanna, but really, it's Abraham from Nigeria somehow." Sorry.
I like big men. I also like a man with a hairy chest.
I like big men. She said it like that song. I like big butts. I like big men. And I cannot lie. Debbie. And then we get a nice beautiful picture of a hairy chested man. It was very good right there. Glad I saw that in the morning after my food, so I can see my food again after this episode. So anyway, that's the preface. Debbie's gonna go through some shit. So let me read that to you. Debbie calls into the catfish team. She messages and she says, "Hello, my name Debbie, and I watch your show all the time. I really need to know if this guy Andrew D. Douglas is who he says he is. We've been chatting a lot and I'm in love with him. He says he wants to marry me and he's been having me look for houses for us. I need to know if he's real. I know you get many emails. I hope you can help. Thank you for helping so many other women." Now that end sentence causes the people at Catfish to think about what that means. And they realize Debbie is a big fan of the show, which means she watches all the episodes. So Debbie kind of knows what's happening. Alright, so she's watching the show, she knows what happens, and she's not aware that this is happening to her. She's like, "Oh, this feels familiar. I wonder where this is from." Anyway, let me get back to watching those idiots at Scamfish.
I really need to know if this guy, Andrew D. Douglas, is who he says he is.
He is. I don't want to spoil it for you, but I don't know any person. Sorry, Andrew D. Douglas. Don't mean to roast your ass inadvertently, but like, let's say you're going to try and catfish your grandma or whoever the hell you're trying to do. You'd get your boy Johnny Depp, and if he's not, hey, you get Brad Pitt, and if he's taken, you get George Clooney or some celebrity, because grandma thinks she's the chosen one, right? You don't get Andrew D. Douglas, a guy who looks like he repairs refrigerators on the weekend. I'm not saying he's not sexy. I'm just saying he looks like a lot of people, right? I feel like.
He says he wants to marry me, and he's been having me look for houses for us.
Very lovely sequence of events. I'll look for a house with Andrew D. Douglas, and then I'll ask myself, is he real? I'll get the house, I'll get the car, I'll arrange the marriage, and hopefully if he turns up on the day, I'll get to find out whether he's really about me. If he says yes at the wedding and also turns up to it, I'll know that he probably likes me.
My name is Debbie, and I'm 69 years old. Had 2 cats,
Horny grandma sending bobs to random men
Ew.
happens to be 69.
Bobs.
Certainly, God has a sense of humor.
They keep me company.
He takes the two worst, like the worst picture I've ever seen of two cats ever taken. That's really actually very impressive that she found the cats in the middle of something and managed to take a picture so I could see neither of them. Debbie has an eye for photography. Not like good photography, but an eye for photography.
I have 2 sons that are married and grown, and I like to watch a lot of Netflix and YouTube. I got married.
Yeah, hopefully her sons, and actually, to be honest, her cats are not watching this episode. I don't think anyone wants to be like, Mom, sending bobs on the catfish. I watched this show, Mom. Please. I don't need to know your serial dating life here. That's gotta be airing your, that part of your life out in public is, maybe it's becoming more of a thing, but I still feel like I don't want to know what my dad's doing behind closed doors type beat.
And I've been single for 8 years now. I had an accident and broke my hips, and he said he felt more like a caregiver than a husband.
Oh, okay, so a lot happened there. Debbie married at 17, super young, and she's been divorced for 8 years. So it means around the time she was 61, 62, she got divorced. So presumably she's been married this whole time. But she says the reason that she got divorced is really sad because she said her hips got broken. So I don't know if something bad happened or he fucked her good. Like, I don't know what happened. I'm just saying.
God damn it.
Something happened, but then now he feels like a caregiver towards her, which is like a bitch move. Let's be honest here. Be a man and like stop being a dick. Okay, that's your wife, and you give her life. That's. I don't know why I said that.
So he left. I'm hoping that one day something will happen to him and he'll need somebody to take care of him, and I won't be there.
All right, Debbie's vengeful. Debbie, 69-year-old vengeful, 50-something years of marriage. I guess you can say things like, I'm gonna kill you, and like everyone else is like, I guess I'll just step back and let this happen. What a
Reptile
marriage.
leather.
The husband's like, you're old and your pelvis doesn't work, and she's like, well, I hope you get wrecked, and I'm not even gonna come save you. I'm just gonna be like, ha 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 in your face. Is that how marriage works? Is this? I'm heading towards that. Okay.
That sounds cruel.
It does, Debbie. It sounds really cruel that you. I mean, like, oh, is this marriage? I don't know if I wanna.
But it's true. And he pays alimony, so I'll never get married again.
Oh, that's okay. I'm starting to side with him. Is that bad? Like, he's paying her as well. She's just wishing evil upon him. I don't like that thing.
I'm looking for love, but I'm not looking for marriage. Don't want to lose that cash cow.
Nice one, Debbie. Me too. And when you say love, you mean ass, right? I mean, your ass is a hairy chest. Mine is ass. Yes, Debbie. You just want to get your feet wet, huh? Yeah. You want to live that life, huh, Debbie? Oh, you want to be a player? I see. Hey, nothing wrong with that these days. Okay, Debbie? Well, you are 69. You're a bit older, on the older side, but gilf.
The most unique thing about me is my great smile. I'm very friendly. I talk to people.
It is a smile, and I'm very appreciative that I can see every single tooth that you have. But it's also like at nighttime, it's nightmare fuel inducing. Grandma is very cute during the day. She's bringing me tea and biscuits, and at night she's making me shit my pants. But I'm a grown adult, so that's where the thing is. Maybe don't smile at night. Okay.
Compliment strangers in the store. I'm just a very open person. I spend a lot of time texting guys, and getting good responses.
Oh my God, is that her profile picture? Debbie! Who's gonna say it? You gonna say it? I'll say it. Debbie, you look like Mick Jagger. What is this about? God damn. Yo, AI needs to help these old people, not like beautify the pictures, do something. I mean, like with the touch-ups people do in real life. Debbie's raw dogging it. That's the problem. All these old people are like, I just take a picture right here. Everybody's gonna like it. The issue is that everyone edits their photos. Everyone, Debbie.
Even some guys say they're looking for a relationship, but I don't know if my age scares them all.
So this guy, Jack, he's a liar. He's a, hey, just wanted to remind you how beautiful you are, winky face, which sounds like almost passive-aggressive. Like I was waiting for the next text to be like, nah. So I don't know about Jack. I don't like him. We don't like Jack. Debbie, move on.
Because a lot of them are younger than me, surprisingly. I like big men, nice hair, and good hands. I love to look at men's hands.
Okay, all right. A little perv, Debbie. Perving out on people's hands. You're like, oh. When she's like at a restaurant, she's like, point to the to the crab again. Oh, yeah. Just like that. Debbie out here just looking at I guess hands is not bad, right? Like I feel like it's very weird. Like if a guy was like, I love looking at feet, then it's like I feel creeped out at even that. So the hands is all right, Debbie.
I also like a man with a hairy chest.
Okay. Well, as long as you're not trying to rip people's shirts open and do that, then.
That's something I really like. Yeah. So I usually ask that question, when
Okay, so Bull is a big fucking liar. He says, you are so sexy. What do you like? And I would reply, I like honest people unlike you, Bull. So he's a no, Debbie. That's not.
it gets really personal, I do ask that. But most of them are very attractive. Yeah, I met a couple that are, ugh.
Yeah, see, this is the thing, Debs. If you go on dating apps, 90% of the people are, there's no way that you're going on and being like, how are you guys single? The answer is they're not. You're getting played. Most of the good-looking people, taken. Most.
But everything changed when she received a message from a man who completely swept her off her feet.
Plenty of fish, right? I don't know anything about it. I never use it. I don't know what that is. It sounds like a fishing app where a fish could be connected to a fisherman and they could have a great relationship. Apparently, people are just getting catfish left and right on this. Plenty of Fish needs to develop a system that includes some verification. Come on, you guys are messing up Plenty of Fish. Okay, so she meets a guy called Andrew D. Douglas. The D stands for Dickum Down. He's 40. He has no hair at the top of his head, and he looks like he looks.
His name is Andrew DeVille Douglas. Andrew's first message to me was, hello, it's nice to meet you. Very simple.
Wow, sexy.
I replied to Andrew, nice to meet you too.
Wow, I didn't need to know this conversation. The old people always do this. They'll tell you details that you don't really even need because they know that you're listening, they have your attention, and they'll start like from the very beginning of time. Like, what I did was I woke up and then I took my morning deuce, which took 2 hours. I just started. Minute 1 was when I put my ass on the seat. You're just like, okay, get to the point, Grandma.
That was the only thing I really said. He texts me and says such nice things.
So then he says you're really beautiful and he wants to see that pretty smile. I told you I don't like liars, so I don't like that.
That really attracted me to him. He made me feel beautiful. He made me feel loved. Looks to be tall.
She says as he's sitting down. Most gangster assessment of something I've ever seen. Man is never. I don't even know what his body looks like. For all I know, this man does not have arms. Or like, he could be a potato, for all I know. But she's like, he looks tall. I can tell by how his face looks that he's tall. Debbie, you need to teach me that trick. I need to look taller from sitting.
He has a receding hairline.
If that's what you want to call it. In that case, I'm just dark white.
I think he's blonde.
I wouldn't know because I can't. There's not enough evidence to provide context to whether that's real or not. Okay.
He is a ship and he goes to various countries.
So he's a ship, and then that's how he goes on his ship. He stands on the side of the ship like he's constantly doing a scene from Titanic, just waiting to get from place to place. But he's currently in Sweden. Now, keep in mind, he's Australian. He went to Sweden, and he's a ship. So those are the information that we got. Why do people constantly talk about being ship people and military personnel and stuff? One, it's to emotionally attach yourself to a situation that they might be in danger. Two, people like this often move around different countries and can say things like, I need money for a hotel, I'm caught up, I can't get to you right now. So they create that emotional tie, and it's a narrative fiction that you could believe in and be like, all right, I love you, and there's an obstacle between us. Great story writing from the scammers, yet again.
His favorite color is red and blue.
God, okay, first of all, that's 2 colors. That's not his favorite color. Secondly, you can't say that if you go to Compton, because you can't be both. You can't be a blood and a crip. Thirdly, I just want to say thirdly, why do I need to know this? What the fuck am I? All right, Debbie. Thank you for telling me that.
He likes pizza and chicken. We discussed
What the are you 3 years old? My favorite food is pizza and chicken. Okay. I'm just so glad that I'm learning about Andrew D. Douglas. So I can tell my friends, they're like, what did you do today? I had a great day. I went to the club. What did you do? Oh, I learned about Andrew D. Douglas. He's a ship, and his favorite color is red and blue, and he likes chicken and pizza. And he's bald, but he looks tall when he sits down. Debbie, please.
I've had a lot of pics that are very inappropriate stuff.
I didn't cut that. She literally said, I like to cook for him, took a breath and was like, there's a lot of dirty pictures from Andrew D. Douglas. Asked me what the D stands for. She literally went from that to that. Debbie, come on, man.
Hi, darling. Hope you're okay. Just on a run this morning. Love you.
Oh, yes, the classic Australian accent. Hey, darling, love you. I'm just here in Britain drinking tea, but I'm Australian, innit? Innit, bruv? I'm just classic Australian, bruv. Brother, bruv. Love Australian stuff. Kangaroos! Yeah, okay, that's good. Get an American person, they don't know the difference between anyone outside of America. They barely know the difference between anyone inside of America.
Asked me to start looking for houses, that he wanted to buy a house when he came back here. So I did, and I would forward the ones to him that I found.
I like how there's no green card process in her mind. She's just like, yeah. This is like back in the day when she was like, Debbie was like, yeah, you can just come over. They didn't have immigration. Passport. We used to come on ships. What are you talking about, passport? Bro, the passport is just getting here. Once you get to America, you can buy a house. It costs 50 schmeckles.
He wants a double car
50
garage.
schmeckles.
For the cars that he doesn't have.
I love it.
He doesn't live in. I like it.
I want a fireplace in the living room, at least 3 bedrooms, and a nice deck on the back.
Mm-hmm. All right.
He said the price range of a house would be $400,000 to $500,000.
Oh, yeah, I've seen. This is what you get for 400, 500,000 looking for a 2 fire pits, 3 bedroom, and a deck. This is what you get right there. Boomer, please. Seriously, $400,000. You want 3 bedrooms, 2 fire pits? You might as well go to hell. That's seriously where you'll find as much fire as you want and possibly that much space. Come on, man. I can't buy a 1-bedroom studio apartment. I can't even look at one for that price. Y'all kidding, man. This is that old, that's the boomer talk. It's like, man, I got a cow and I worked really hard at the sawmill. I got some dust and a cow. What can I get with that? And they're like, oh, yeah, 3-bedroom house, easy. Does the cow, is it alive? It's a living, it's not steak yet? Oh, you get a 4-bedroom for that.
That's a lot. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Still a flex. Unfortunately, this is still you're flexing on me. All right, Debbie. Okay, I'm gonna get really rich. And then I'm going to still do this, and people are going to be like, hey, you have too much money to be pretending like you don't. Watch me glow up.
Things took a turn when Andrew received a big contract and needed to travel for work.
He was working, inspecting the ship.
Okay, so Andrew inspecting ships.
In Sweden, and he was there for several weeks and would not be.
Must have been a big ship. He's there for that long inspecting a ship. God, okay.
But he does have people working for him. He's going to get a big check and he has to pay them, which led to the next problem.
Yeah. The problem is that he works for a company and then also has to pay people. This is not a multi-level marketing company, is it? Is that how ships work? You take some of the booty and then you split it with the other pirates? All right, Debbie. So Andrew then says, I just got paid. Can I deposit my check in your bank account? Which is something that every person says to other people. I am very aware. Usually when my friends make money, they just put their money straight into my account. It's just what they do. That's how friendship works. And when I get money, I deposit it into my account. So I just steal money from my friends. So she opened a Chase bank account, gave him all the details, and an associate will put money in it. Associates, obviously, no. Also, nobody needs your like password and shit for your account. Debbie, please stop. Debster, how come your sons don't tell you, Ma? Look, I know you like the hairy chest type guys, but there's websites for that. You gotta stop doing this, man. Debbie, save your money.
Because he said, you ought to be expecting the Latitude card soon. I texted him and said I got the card in the mail today. That's kind of weird.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what a Latitude credit card is. I don't know how that even works. I don't know how you can put it in someone else's name. I guess he probably got all her details or something like that. Look, I don't even know how credit cards work, okay? I pay everything in cash. Nah, I don't. But I still don't know what the hell's going on here.
So it didn't come out of my pocket. It came out of this credit card, which I don't understand.
Me neither, Debbie. We're both lost on this shit. But I'll tell you what, if you don't understand it and it's about money, you should probably not do it.
Debbie ended up sending $5,000 in gift cards to Andrew.
You know, at this point, are gift cards not just more of an issue than they are, like, serving a purpose? Like, people already hate these fucking things. And by people, I mean me. What the fuck? This thing is useful for one store usually. You know, I've received a few gift cards in my time, and it's like, oh, here's $20, but you can only spend it at this restaurant or whatever it is, and I'm like, curse the Lord, because I'd like to spend it at multiple restaurants sometimes. So already that's like bad. But like the other use is apparently, seemingly, to scam people. So if it has like more negatives than positives, why do they still exist? I don't get it.
I don't have thousands of dollars to give, but what's happened is...
Excuse me, you said that you have a house that's worth, you can try and get a 3-bedroom house, 400 to 500,000. Debbie, you have a 2-bedroom that you live in. Is the other bed for rent? How much is it? And can I move in? Okay.
He's stolen my heart. If he were real, I would be out of this world happy. Out of this.
Yeah, Debbie has like a stroke while she's saying it, but like, I'm having a stroke trying to... This guy? Really? Oh, you could do better. If you're gonna pick a fake scammer, like get Jason Momoa, something like that. Really? Alright. Anyway, they try and like get Debbie on the phone. They're trying to get some information about her, because the thing is that we're still sort of stuck in the mud with the case. We don't really have anything. And what's more, the video of Andrew talking looked real. It's just kind of weird that we don't have enough context.
The first thing we have to do is like find out who the person is in the photos.
The first thing we have to do is find out why Andrew D's camera is like from 1984 actually. I was just thinking about the quality of that phone. That's like 3 pixels. That's a 3-megapixel camera. I feel like he's got a burner phone or something, man. Andrew D is hiding something. So the next day, they get Debbie on a call. There's Brienne and my boy Andrew over here, my boy Drew. He's dressed like he's a kid and also going to rap battle Eminem after this session in 8 Mile. I don't know why it looks so funny that they're just sitting in different positions, but he looks a lot shorter. He looks like he's a child, and Bree's the mother, and he's like, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah.
Hey guys, nice to see you.
We were calling you because you accidentally sent us your friend's number to look into Andrew's number.
Oh, she catfished you? How does it feel, guys? Shoes on the other shoe now, huh?
Melissa.
Do you...
Oh, alright. Apparently she knew about this. Wow. Drew was like, hey, we're calling you because you didn't send us your number. She's like, yes. I sent Melissa. You wanted her number? No. Okay. Alright, well, I sent it to you. And then Drew says the most horrific thing he's ever said in his lifetime. Do you mind sharing your screen? Which will prove to be the words that haunt him for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I can.
We're just here to help you.
She says it like an evil person. She's like, if you want to, yeah, I can.
We're just here to pull information. We just want to look through it, so no need to be nervous. Unless there's anything on your phone you don't want us to see, then there's no reason to be nervous.
Yeah.
Bree gives her a second out by saying, unless there's something on your phone, you can share that screen with us. And she literally is like, no, everything's good.
No problem. Okay.
No problem. She has 0 problem. And this is what we're all
Oh
about
god,
to see now.
it's gonna be
Just
gross nudes on it.
New messages.
Who is that on the background?
That's my new man. That's my new fella that I'm...
So, there's a lot wrong with this. Firstly, I just want to go through her phone and say that she has, looks like 3 versions of the same Amazon app. Debbie, you only need one. You don't need to track every package with a different app. Secondly, she has something that's very concerning to me, which it looks like she has an app that says Wi-Fi. She's using an app to get Wi-Fi on her phone. Question marks there. Thirdly, she's got a hairy man as her DP, and they ask about it because they're like, famously, Andrew D doesn't have hair, especially on his head. And she's like, well, that's my new guy. And she's not even like fronting about it. She's just like, I play the streets. I play both sides.
Praying is real. Ain't he something? Whew.
Yeah, woo, woo. You're praying about that, huh? You're going to bed being like, God, I hope that hairy man come into my life. She would have loved Robin Williams.
He's got that hairy chest like you like.
Oh, baby, yes.
Okay, all right. Debbie, chill. God damn, Debbie.
Yeah, he's on WhatsApp.
I love you.
Okay, honey, I love you. Kissy emoji. Ooh. It's one of the most haunting things you can ever do in society is go through an old person's phone. Because you think they're old, innocent people. You're like, grandpa, love to see what you do. And then you're like,
Oh, yeah. He calls me his love, his baby. Look at this long text.
Wow.
We talk about
Well, Brienne has seen it all and doesn't give a shit. Debbie's like, look at this text. She's like, wow, never seen words before. Thanks for that. But it turns out Debbie has a new love, and it's this guy. And his name, I think, is Alex.
And how long have you been talking to Alex?
just a couple weeks.
What?
So they're like swiping through the phone, they're sharing the screen, they're going up for the conversation. Bree's trying to establish how long she's been talking to him, because this is a curveball. Like, we're trying to figure out if, like, she messaged about Andrew D to see if he's real. She was in love with him. Now we got like this whole new situation, new guy. Bree's trying to figure that out. In the middle of that, they're scrolling and they see a blurred picture, and it's her chesticles.
The I love you chats, I guess it meant she moved on from Andrew to this Alex person.
Oh, because he has hair on his head and his chest? What are you, hairist?
Did you ask for this photo with the shirt off?
Yes, I did.
Damn it, Debbie. Why? Debbie, God. Deb, why did you lie for a sec? For a change, bro?
I wanted to see what he looked like.
Oh, that's why, right, of course. Debbie she tells the truth. She is the craziest truth teller I've ever seen.
He said he was looking for a long, lasting relationship. That's why we never talked about or anything.
I thought Debbie didn't want to get married. I thought she was playing streets. Apparently she wants to be in a long-term relationship with this guy because he has a hairy chest. So, there's that.
I mean, at some point you guys must have been talking about something to send him that
He
photo.
said, I would love to see your boobs.
Oh, okay.
That's self-inflicted damage, right? The Nigerian man who is invariably messaging behind this account, who's like, I would like to see your poops, and then that happens, and then, you know, he's like, I've burned my eyes out. That's self-inflicted. That's, nobody asked for that.
Wow.
He didn't get descriptive about what he would want to do.
Hey, nobody's gonna get descriptive about what they want to do with those things, okay? I'll get descriptive about them right now. Put them back in. I want to see them.
How long have you guys been talking?
Just a couple weeks, actually.
And so he's saying, I love you. He's proposed to you. You showed him your
You don't have to remind us, Bree. Yeah, you don't need to. Trying to rinse that from out my head. All right. Yeah. But she's right. In the span of just a few weeks, this woman has gone from not knowing this person to loving him, and like it's progressing a lot, like, you know, super fast, don't you think? The problem is it gets worse.
And this is moving so fast, no?
Drew looks so sad. I had to pause it. I was like, yeah, that's how I look when I just feel like the week has beaten me. I just feel like I'm down and out. This looks like how Eminem feels when he lost that rap battle. This is like before he turned into Eminem. He was like, I gotta get him back.
Yeah, I think I am.
It seemed the further we dug into her messages, the more profiles of men we found.
Under Lewis, is that a guy named Superman?
Oh, yeah, right there.
Don't say it like it's normal, Debbie. This is not a normal thing that you can just have on your WhatsApp. Like, oh, yeah, that's Superman. That's his number right there. Yep. Hates kryptonite, loves seeing through women's clothes. That's Superman. It's a guy called Superman. Okay.
Baby? He's calling your baby?
Hey, everybody calling her baby. My sexy woman, it feels great to have you. You're a sweet woman. And he also likes pizza. Every man, apparently, in her life likes pizza, that's very good.
Girl, you're calling him baby. He's saying you're sexy.
Ooh, pizza
woman,
sounds good.
yeah.
Where do you think Superman's from?
Stankonia. I don't know. Madagascar, I guess.
I don't know. I'm trying to find out. This is all like on one day. I'm trying to find.
There's more pictures
There's
of it.
in the last.
At this point, Drew has lost his mind. I would feel the same way, man. If I got flashed twice by something I didn't want to see, then it feels like that. If I get flashed and I want to see it, I'm like, oh, that's a blessed day, you know. So it's a hard line to toe. It's a hard line.
30 days. How many men have you sent pictures of your to?
Probably.
That's an appropriate question by Brienne, actually. Would you believe that? That's an appropriate question. In the past 30 days, what's your analytics on titty pics? Like, is it below 10? What are we talking?
Probably 3.
Okay. That's still too much, but okay.
There he is.
That's how I imagine Superman to look like. That Uber Eats guy. He is kind of a Superman. Delivers in any weather. Doesn't ask for a tip. Doesn't even ask for the tip. He just leaves.
That is Superman right there.
Okay, so I've got photos of Superman. I've got images of
Spider-Man, and in her other phone, she's got Batman on call. She's got booty. She calls him Booty Batman. So I don't know, man. Debbie is just trying to make her own Marvel cinematic universe, if you ask me.
Alex,
Alex. We've got images of Andrew now. Anybody else on here on your phone that you want us to look into?
Aquaman. Seriously.
What does Brian look like?
He's really cute. I have a picture in my phone.
Oh, yeah. It's cool. Whew. There's nothing worse than someone who wants to show you their gallery and, you know, there's some spicy stuff on it. Like, sometimes you just like, the spicy thing I want to see is like recipes, you know. Please let me see with clothes on in that. Secret folders, right? You know, like it's fine, right? Can we all just agree? Taking pictures of your ass, your junk, or whatever, 100% okay. Just don't flash it. Like, you know, someone want to see it, great. If someone can't just force it upon someone. She's just like an old granny just letting them hang out, huh?
Photos. There's Brian.
Yeah, it looks like he's in memoriam right there. Okay.
There's Brian right there. There he is again.
What? What? What is this mother flipper doing, bro? Golfing at a beach? She said it like it's normal. What is he, surfing at a golf course? What? Where? All right. Where's the hole?
Oh, of course, he made a collage just like Alex has.
She said Debbie's getting a bit crazy now, right? Because she's like, of course he made a collage just like the other guys. Debbie, this man is golfing at a beach, okay? It seems like an impossible activity. And he's making collages, and I think he's dead already, so he's doing this from beyond the grave. That's impressive, Debbie.
Made a damn collage.
Yeah, hey, I could do without the language there, Debs.
Debbie was communicating with multiple men, so we sent IP tracker after IP tracker after IP tracker.
No need.
It was time to
there's no need. It's gonna be from one place, Nigeria, probably Lagos. God, you don't need to waste your IP trackers. What you need to do is get Debbie to stop sexing up men who have names like Superman and shit. Because, like, you know, once she discovers the other one, she's gonna be on a rampage. You know, this is evil. Once she discovers Doc Ock, it's over. Oh, just let her not discover Wolverine. She likes hairy men with hairy chest. Oh my god. So anyway, a few days later, they do more information on all the other people, send the IP trackers out, try and get to her and basically give her the information she needs to whether these people are real or she should actually get a move on with her life. And when they see her, she acts like she hasn't seen them before. She's like, wow, it's so great to see you guys on this show. She was literally here 3 days ago showing pictures of her bobs, and Drew was dying internally and externally.
Your makeup is perfect.
I spent a lot of time on my makeup today.
Why are you roasting my boy? First, you ruin his eyesight. Now you roast his look. What is this about? We need to start a GoFundMe for Drew so we can give him therapy, because he's witnessed a lot, man. I don't know how he sits through this.
I'd ask if you were single, but you're in California, dude.
Oh, wow.
Wow, player, hitting on the host, huh? Drew, you gonna call her? You've already seen her naked. I mean, do you want to?
Plus, we already established Drew doesn't even have a hairy chest.
You know,
When was this? You guys, I would have loved to see that interaction. Oh, I didn't know Drew had to prove that he didn't have a hairy chest to some of the people on the show. That seems like a funny concept, man. Next time you guys do that, I think you should put it in the show. Drew being like, no, you don't date me. Look at this. Please don't. Drew's like shaving. He's like, I don't want her to date me.
that's doable. Yeah, that's doable.
Okay, so Drew is doable, according to Debbie. Got it. Thanks, Debs.
But Alex is the
Thanks,
man
Debs.
that I really want to be the real man.
Man, Debbie is like doing classic, like, I don't know if it's the modern girl. I don't want to over generalize here, but like some people that I have known in their life has been like, this is the guy that's safe, but this is the guy that I really want. But I'm gonna stick with him because I don't want to be alone. But this is the guy that I really want. Debbie's playing.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's that. And then let's check the settings on the output. Change the still kind of choppy. OBS, Enshrouded, OBS, web page. that down. This is still kind of choppy. I'll check the bit rate. We have keeps asking to update. If it's still bad, I might just need to restart the
she's doing it, man. She's
restart the
she's
computer
on
and
both
see if
levels.
that
She's like,
helps.
"Look, I'm never gonna be single, but maybe if I could actually get Alex,
It seems a
I'll
little
leave
better, but
Andrew D.
you let me know if it's still
You
choppy,
don't feel like those pictures
and I'll
that you're sending of
restart this
yourself
stream
are
and
vulgar?
the computer, and
No,
that'll probably
not at
fix
all.
it.
Wow.
solves the issue. There you go. Brienne does press her on the fact that, you know, she's sending bobs to people, but she's like, hey, you send your chest, I send mine. Everything's all good. Everything's kosher here.
I think a picture is vulgar.
Because you think that
Hey, she said the word penis. She said it's vulgar. It is not. It might look... It's not vulgar. It is vulgar, however, to send it out to every random person like it's a greeting card. So I do agree with her on that. Those are my parts you're talking about, lady, and I don't think it's vulgar. And yes, I don't often send those out, but if I do, consider yourself lucky, Debbie.
Anything below the waist without any underwear on.
Damn, she's right. If you wear underwear, it's not vulgar, it's sexy.
But why do you keep sending money to these people?
I only sent $25 to Alex. One time.
Yeah, so she's only sent $25 to Alex. She sent $3,000 to Andrew. So Debbie's in some trouble here, you know.
I'm a praying woman, and I had prayed so much that this is the real thing.
we looked into Andrew, but we also looked into Alex.
Prays and she sends bobs. How could you ask for a better woman? That's a God-fearing woman right there. She prays to the Lord, and she praises you by sending her knockers.
Actually, what's showing today is a balance of $949,957,400.
Holy shit! I knew shipping was a good profession. Damn, that pirate money sure does pay, doesn't it? He's got almost $1 billion in his bank. I knew it. It makes even less sense that he can't afford a phone that actually has more than 2 pixels, but I guess pirates love pirating things.
So what was interesting is there weren't any transactions. There were no transfers. That's a huge red flag.
It's not a red flag. If you find treasure and it's in solid gold and then you turn it into money like liquid cash, I guess that's what would happen. He just gets... Man, pirates are rich, man.
Truth about Andrew.
So I ran the images that you sent over of Andrew on our site and found a LinkedIn account for Andrew.
Imagine having $950 million and then it's like, hey babe, can you give me food? Dude, I gotta pay my workers. How am I gonna do this at the end of the month? Dude, I still have a job. I have $950 million. They're sending me to Sweden. I gotta work. Yeah, I get paid $17 an hour. Never put those 2 and 2 together, huh? Debbie, too busy sending those bobs. Hey, did Andrew ever get some of those bobs? What's his name? Douglas. I don't know what that guy, the baldy. Did he ever get the bobs, or was it just chesticles over there? That's sad, man. If you don't have a hairy chest, Debbie don't like you, really.
He's a shipwright. We were able to find his picture here with an article as well.
So this dude actually does exist. It turns out he really is in Australia. He really is a ship worker. He's a real dude that they just randomly started using as a scam profile. Now I gotta say, I understand when it's like this, like, you know, the girls with like the slim thick body, whatever, you know what I mean. It's easily desirable, or like a celebrity to some of the women like Johnny Depp, very easily desirable.
It's not too
I can
bad.
understand. I can put
Still
that
choppy,
loop
but
together.
audio is
Having a
fine.
dude
It's
who's
not
even
loading
in
every
the
5
foreground
seconds.
of his
Okay,
own
okay.
picture is
Well, if
like
it is
the most
unbearable, you
weird
let me
type of
know.
scam that I've ever
And
seen.
I'll
It's like, I
I'll
want to pick a
restart.
random guy, and
It will be.
then there's no way that you'll be able to tell. That's either
Oh, you
ingenious
so
or like that's one of those deep cuts right there. It's like you're looking for
I
a,
just need
a
to
very
update everything.
dumb type of fish to catch. That's a different type of scam, bro.
Like I said, I've seen your show enough to know.
It was time to give Debbie.
Clearly you haven't though, Debbie, because you've seen the show and this is not clicked, and you've got 700 guys. You even have someone who's called Superman on your phone, and you're watching a scam. This is my God, this is like Ronald McDonald only eating Wendy's. This is not okay.
The truth about her Prince Charming.
What is so different between Andrew and Alec?
Chest hair, Drew, and general hair, actually.
I mean, like pure, beautiful Hallmark movie poetry.
Nigerian poetry. I got it.
True. I just pray that Alex's game is real.
I actually spoke to Alex.
You did.
So then Drew drops a bombshell on her because he wants to get her back a little bit. He's like, look, you wanted to talk to Alex? I actually talked to Alex. And he shows her exactly how he did it. For this, he needs his grandma. Drew's grandma actually makes an appearance for the first time I've seen her on this show. Shout out to Drew's grandma. She's cool.
So I was just gonna strike up a random conversation, but I need you to come in and talk to him through voice notes. The account, Mary. And I attached some random image of some older woman.
Damn, you could have just taken a picture of your grandma, but alright. So Mary out there looking like a really fine old grandma. Anyway, Drew is like catfishing the catfisher, which is my favorite part of any catfish. It's like when you set up your own sting operation to get them. I love it. Everybody loves that justice, right?
I'm gonna send him, hey honey, and I'm just gonna say I miss you.
The amount of times Drew would have had to message Nigerian men with something either dirty or sexy or cute. I feel like when Drew gets his girlfriend, she's gonna have to be very secure because she's like, Drew, who are you texting at night at 11 p.m? And he's like, in Nigeria, it's like 8. And yes, I'm sending my butt to a Nigerian man, but you know what? It's love. And I love him more than I ever would love you. So
my grandmother sends,
honey, I really miss you.
I just really want to be with you.
excellent line reading, grandma. 10 out of 10. 10 Oscars for you. I mean, prove within seconds these are like disgusting scams. I mean, without even having any context, the guy is messaging Drew, pretending that he knows what the hell is going on. He just wants that money one way or another. Maybe he wants love. Who knows?
where are you now, baby? How does that make you feel? Because that would break my heart if my girlfriend's out there talking to
my grandma and trying to start a life with her. I know, I feel the same way. Every time I have a girlfriend, I bring her over, I say, Grandma, I sit her down, I'm like, Grandma, you will not rizz up this girl. I worked very hard to get her. You just come in here, you steal my girl. Every time, Grandma. She's over at Grandma's house every time. Stop, get some help.
you know, some random guy online.
If he was real and were really in love with me, that's cheating.
Yeah, well, he's fake, and so that's not cheating, but also you're cheating. Remember, because you're messaging 600 guys, including Superman?
He wants to know if you've had dinner, Grandma.
Have you eaten?
Yes, thank you for asking.
That grandma's really cute, man.
Read this, Grandma. Read that.
I don't have my
He
glasses.
just wrote us a novel.
Come on, Drew. Let me do it. My beloved, every moment without you feels like an eternity. My heart aches with longing, and my soul yearns for your presence.
I'm consumed by thoughts of you, my love, and the.
I'm consumed by thoughts too.
I'm not reading all this.
I'll tell you how it works. You open Chat GPT real quick. You say, can you write me some romantic poem to send to Sarah? All right. Here it is. Oh, in a world of noise, you're my quiet place, a gentle sunrise, wrapped in grace. Your laughter, the song of heavens compose. Your smile, the garden where my heart chose to grow. Each moment with you feels rare and bright, like finding stars in the morning light. You're not just a wish upon a sky. You're the reason dreams learn to fly. Just by the way, that's disgusting. I would write something like, Sarah, I want to cut it all up. Sarah, that's a devious butt. Sarah, flash it again. Sarah, you a dime, you a 10. Okay, cool. That's great.
I would really like to see your hairy chest.
Why you do this, Drew? Why
What
you do
the
this
fuck,
to your
man?
grandma?
Could you please take your shirt off?
What do you think about that?
And grandma takes one for the team. She sacrifices a lot. Your sacrifices knock on unnoticed, grandma. The man sends through his hairy chest, and it looks like he's in a bathroom dying of a stroke, so someone help him, please. He also says, can I get one too? He wants a picture of her hairy chest as well. That's good. That's very good.
This is an imposter. This is another guy that has stolen someone else's likeness and images.
His name on Instagram is Chusman.
Oh man, so they tell Debbie that the hairy chest is not just for her, and his name's Chusman, and then she starts crying. She's just like, she lets herself go. She doesn't like the fact that that hairy chest is not just for her.
Can't trust any man.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that's true, Debbie. That's a big generalization for, I don't, okay, you know what? That's fine. Yeah, I hate men too. Okay.
I don't meet guys at church. I don't go to parties. I don't go to bars. It's not actually real.
Don't understand what she's saying, but that hairy chest really, she would like to rub her head on his hairy chest and have the chest wipe away her tears, I'm sure.
Maybe I didn't think he was real. I just wanted him to be so bad.
Look, man, I'm pretty sure you can get someone to cut off their pubes and like just put it there. I don't know if that helps. I'm not sure. Debbie, I don't know exactly what you're gonna do, but like, stop doing the Bob's thing. That's all I'm thinking about. All right, so there's like this beautiful conclusion. Everyone's trying to console each other, be empathetic. Drew says that he pisses his grandma off all the time, which I find super funny because I don't know, that just came from left field. I don't really understand why he said that, but it's there, so I just kept adding it in. But now it's like the moment to tell the catfish guests to be like, hey, maybe don't use the internet for like trying to, you know, play around with like 30 Nigerian men who are pretending to be people from different country. You're better off actually going to Nigeria trying to find Nigerian men. They're very lovely.
Have you tried just meeting someone locally in your neighborhood?
Yeah, locally produced fucking old guy. Just find that.
Locally
they
produced
come from
old
you
guy.
pull them by the hair, it comes as like a carrot.
In your city, I mean, joining some hobbies that you really enjoy and finding people there that have those commonalities with you.
Okay, I'm gonna defend Debbie for like just a quick second here. It's not easy. I don't know. I'm a guy. It's a bit different maybe. Like I feel scared to approach girls. I feel scared because I feel like they judge me and they can see my face and I don't want them to, but like it's not easy. Like, you know, you do things and you don't want to like make people feel uncomfortable. I don't know if Debbie has that issue. I don't think she does, because clearly she can make people uncomfortable like it's a talent. But it's not as easy to just go out in the world.
You both are cutie.
Oh hey, what are you doing later on? I haven't found that to be the case.
Health leech.
Maybe it's different with Debbie. All right, so Drew's gonna
Stamina
piss his
leech,
grandma off
double
and
leech.
then also look for activities for Debbie to do, which sounds like a plan.
Don't send any more pictures of your
Okay, yeah, that's gone. I'll delete them too.
Okay.
Age is like milk, you know what I mean? Like, but honestly, legitimately, Jesus, I mean, the things I see on Instagram, y'all, if you want to do it, do it. Like, there's no judgment anymore, clearly, and I don't know if there ever should have been. If you're gonna do it consensually, great, but if you're gonna send it to people that don't want to see that, no, don't do it. I don't know. Like, if my grandpa was slanging his turtle around, I'd be like, over with it.
Slanging his
Make sure
turtle
you're doing it consensually if you're gonna do it. That's all I'm saying. Debbie has chosen to take a break from online dating. Her family has been informed, and her son has agreed to manage her accounts moving forward. Rest in peace to her son whenever he sees her gallery. We recommended her family update her passwords, and she chose Chase Bank profile under the name Andrew D. Access to additionally our team located in a nearby senior center where Debbie can meet new people in person, providing her with an opportunity to get out the house and socialize. Debbie didn't seem like she liked people her age. But alright, that's kind of how it ends. We don't really know if Debbie's really gonna stick to that lifestyle, but she's a hardcore person, huh? So I don't know if this is gonna be us in the future. I think that there's a chance that, you know, my son or my daughter will be like, what were you like, Dad? And then they try and reach on my phone, and I'm like, unless you want to scar yourself for the rest of your life, don't do that. I guess we're more open about that stuff now. now, and I don't know, it's going both ways. It feels like people really want to commit and settle down, which is very admirable and very beautiful. It feels like some people are using their sexuality to actually get careers, which that's a whole topic for another thing. And while I am a sex positive person, I feel like to a degree, you know, let's keep it classy. But then again, I don't know, man. With the way things are going, maybe I shouldn't talk. At the end of the day, all I'm gonna say is I don't send my balls to people. I don't send things that hang low. Okay, Debbie. Maybe put one of those things where it's like, you know, in Instagram where it's like tap to see, and then when you tap it, it's like, are you sure your eyes will never be the same again? That's all I'm saying. If we get Debbie one of those, she can go send those bobs like missiles. Okay, that's it. I feel like we should develop that feature, and from then on we'll be good. That's all I'm saying. Thank you guys. I think that's it. Bye. I'll see you on the next one.
Gross.
Well, hello and welcome to Town Review, the series where we travel the world on Google Maps and review every town on the planet, or at least 6 or 7 of them. Today we're going to be having a look at Killarney, one of Ireland's most visited towns, to see if it really lives up to the hype. And I must say, like a lovely town, you're looking absolutely stunning today. Now, without further ado, let's launch into Killarney. Right, let's throw ourselves right into the centre here. This roundabout looks like a bit of a centre of commerce. Okay, first impressions. We're in a bit of a suburban area. We probably haven't landed in the greatest spot, so I have a couple of minor squabbles just on first inspection as we land in here. They have these little barrier things here. They're not really serving a purpose, and also there's a couple of them missing. So at Killarney Town Council, I get on that straight away. It's a bit of an eyesore. Looks like we've got 5 or 6 of them missing. Not really good enough, I'm afraid, Killarney. But otherwise, it's nice. The tree in the middle of the roundabout's a bit puny. I think we could upgrade it a bit. Maybe plant a few flowers here as well. Now, in their defence, this does look like a recently planted tree. So perhaps it will flourish as time goes on. But at the moment, this roundabout, in terms of aesthetics, I cannot give it more than a 5 out of 10. Much more effort needed on this roundabout. Right, let's have a look behind us here. Looks like we've got some construction happening. I see a crane over here. What are they building? It's hard to tell exactly what they're building, but it doesn't look like it's going to be built for its beauty. So far, I probably haven't landed in the best part of Killarney, but some of the houses here are lovely. We've got a bit of an ivy-covered house here. Very, very nice. Absolutely gorgeous. This person is really picking up the aesthetics of the area. They've put a lot of effort into their garden. That must be commended. Bit of a weird shaped house, I won't lie to you. It's kind of a corner house, but not really. It's just kind of bendy a bit. Probably not the greatest looking house I've ever seen in my life, but you're making up for it with the garden, and you have a lovely doorway. So top marks on that. Let's make our way down the street here and see what other treasures Killarney has in store. Good few weird shaped houses in this area, but that's fine. Adds character. This person has a lot of palm trees in their back garden. Very aesthetic. It's like the tropics. Right, now I'm down an alley somewhere. This isn't ideal. Let's go to another part of the town. I don't think I really like the look of this alley. I wouldn't be down it myself. We've got a gentleman here carrying what can only be described as a very suspicious briefcase. He looks like he might be going to drop off a ransom sum. I'm sure he's not. It's probably just a poker set. Right, let's pick another area here. Let's go and check out Killarney's McDonald's. See what the cuisine is like in Killarney. So maybe one day you'd like to go to Killarney, do the Ring of Kerry. But for now, I've got a different type of ring for you from our lovely sponsor, Gentle Bands, my first sponsor ever on this YouTube channel. This Christmas, coming to the end of the year, nobody wants to spend money on meaningless stuff. You want something meaningful. That's where our locals, I'm counting 1, 2, 3 customers. In Ireland, if you've got 3 customers, you'd be considered to be doing serious business altogether. We've got a nice little outdoor area adjacent to the McDonald's. Let's get another angle on it. Looks like a lovely place to come and have a McDonald's if you're going to have one. Almost a park area, few benches, a lovely tree as well, much higher quality tree than the last one we seen at the roundabout. And I think we can all imagine just sitting here in this picturesque location having a big tasty for ourselves. So yeah, I think this would definitely be an area to hit up during your travels. Let's see what else we've got in this area. Oh, right across the road we have an Omniplex. Doesn't seem to be quite as popular as the McDonald's. There's great parking here at the Omniplex. Nobody's using it, but there's plenty of space. Maybe it's closed. This might have been very early in the morning. Serious potential for a day out here. Go down to the cinema, go in and pick up your McDonald's, sit in the lovely park area, eating a big tasty, and then maybe head down to the Circle K and get yourself a few sweeties and a bit of fuel. That's a lovely Circle K there now. Fine forecourt, plenty of vertical space. So overall, I'm going to give this area a 7 out of 10. A lovely family entertainment resort. Plenty to do. Now let's go and have a look at somewhere else. Let's try and get a bit of culture in. There seems to be a few bits over here. We've got a cottage, got a bed and breakfast. Let's have a look. Let's see what it's like. I think I'm beside the B&B now. Oh, it's a great place for a park in Killarney. Plenty of parking to be found. I'm trying to find this cottage, but I don't know. Can I get down to it? I think it's beyond here somewhere. Let's see if I can find the cottage. Listen, I don't know where this cottage is. All I found is more parking space. Let's go in and see what's happening at this roundabout. Oh, look at that. Completely different vibe to the last roundabout. This just goes to show you now, it really makes the difference when you're just willing to put a bit of effort into a roundabout. Lovely plantation here in the middle. It's like the Amazon rainforest within in the middle of it. Lovely pathwork here on the roundabout as well. Looks like we've got some serious action in this area. Let's go over and have a look here. Carry out, go in and buy your drink. Very convenient. Go into the carry out, get your drink, head into the pharmacist then on your recovery for the next day, and you can even go in and place a bet while you're at it. Very convenient. We've a cheeky little Supermax over here as well. And then across the road here we've got a Lidl. Let's go and see, is it a high quality Lidl? I judge a town very harshly based on its supermarkets. I want to see a good Lidl. I want to see a good Tesco. If I can have one, I'll take a lovely big Dunn's. So let's see what the quality of this Lidl is like. Now, I am a harsh critic of a Lidl, so first of all, it's one of the older designed Lidls. They've started putting bricks on them now and just making them look a little bit more aesthetic. But this is one of the older ones that looks like a prison, which is fine. Maybe the front of it is a bit nicer, we're around the side, but so far on the side, you know, the difference it'd make if you just replaced all this with bricks, it'd look absolutely lovely. Looks like a good size of a Lidl from what I can see in there. I'm counting about 8 checkouts, so it can definitely take a good amount of custom at once, which is always good to see. Nice little path heading down to the Lidl here, very nice. Now let's get into this car park and see if we can get a look at the front of this Lidl. Lovely area in general, nice trees. We've got this nice sort of wooden fence here. Really feel it ties the area together. It's a really nice walk into Lidl experience. Right, I've managed to get myself inside a bus. Sorry, 1 second now. Okay, I don't think we can get a good clear view of the front of this Lidl. This is the best I've got. We can actually see the Google camera here. Not gonna lie, Google Maps guy having a bit of a lazy day. He could have made a bit more of an effort to fully cover the car park of this Lidl, but let's zoom in here and see what we can get. As I suspected, a really good size of a Lidl, but aesthetically just not there. No brickwork. Absolutely no care given to the aesthetic of the Lidl. Very old school. A refurbish should do this Lidl the world of good. But I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Quantity over quality. So we're going to go to some of the more touristy areas soon, but I want to cover the bread and butter of the town. You know, where are you going to go and do your shopping? Where are you going to live? These are the parts you don't see. I try to do a thorough investigation in these town reviews. Right, so let's make our way into a more built-up area here. And now we're starting to see the real character of Killarney as we enter the town. Just a wonderfully aesthetic town. We've lovely little greenery here. Little tiny fence keeping the flowers safe. We've got a fine fence over here in front of the monument. Just that attention to detail. It's a green fence. They've painted the tips white, and it just adds that pop of colour that you want to see in a fence. We've a fine monument here. Let's pull up a bit of information about it, get a bit of history. So this is the Royal Munster Fusiliers Memorial, and it commemorates the soldiers who gave their lives from 1881 until 1902 in the South African War, and a fine, lovely monument it is. And they well deserve it for their hard work. And then right beside the memorial we have a 4-star pizza. Isn't the modern world just glorious? Look at this now. Lovely horse-drawn carriages here. You can probably get on them and have a little go around the town. Absolutely gorgeous. This fella appears to be selling some blankets. They have little brake lights and everything on them. Very modern. I like this black one here. It's very slick. Isn't that just absolutely gorgeous now? Don't worry, we'll go over and have a look at this church now in a second. Beautiful town to be walking through. Look at that now. Go in there and have your breakfast in the Bean and Batch. Pop into Country Crafts for a bit. Get all your souvenirs to bring home. Little jumper, an old postcard, you name it, you can get it in Killarney. 1 second, let me cross the road here. I'm about to get hit by a bus. It's going to Limerick, so I wouldn't necessarily trust it. We have another fine monument here across the road. The horse is even engaged with it. I'm not going to give away all the history on everything. You know, you can go and see it yourself, take it all in. I don't want to give you too many spoilers. Look at them lovely flowers there now, lining the top there. Absolutely gorgeous. Fine, lovely buildings. Little roundy. I love a building with a little roundy window on it. Then up the top of the town here, a fine hotel. We have the Killarney Plaza Hotel. I've actually stayed in this hotel. Fun fact, I had a lovely night sleeping it. I was doing a gig down the road and yeah, I was staying here. Lovely food, fantastic room as well. It was very decadent, I must say. Just a tremendous amount of beauty, and unlike the first location, effort put into every roundabout. And it's a fine day as well. It's great to see it. You can't beat Ireland on a lovely day. We've St. Mary's Cathedral here. Gorgeous cathedral. I believe it was finished in 1855. And the reason I know that is because I've just googled it. Fine little clock face on it. They're just tremendously aesthetic. And look at that, the sunshine coming in over it. Let's get a good angle on it now and have a good look at it. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? This is why you come to Ireland. Inner beauty and outer beauty. Now let's take a walk down the street here and see what kind of shops we can find. We have Paddy Sheehan's here, great spot. Milano for a lovely Italian experience, a fine pizza within it. The Smoke and Vape Shop, cornerstone of any community. And conveniently they also fix phones. So if you have a broken phone and you need to vape, you know exactly where to go. Killarney. Little bit of ice cream and Geno's. Nice little bit of gelato for yourself. A lot of Italian influence in Killarney. A lot of people don't know. Little vintage phone booth. Absolutely gorgeous. Lovely little pots of tree here, really adding to the aesthetic. I know it's a very mainstream town, but you have to give it to them. It's just a gorgeous town. They've really earned their spot as one of Ireland's most aesthetic towns. So you can see here there's a fair bit to the town. There's a good few streets. There's a lot on offer. A lot of pubs. A lovely mural here. They've blurred out the face, but this is a Monsignor Hugh Flaherty, Killarney's World War II hero. The Killarney Advertiser, bit of journalism. So we have Killarney National Park here, but I don't think I can get into it in Google Maps. Let's see if we can have a look from this road here. See if we can get a good look at it. As you can see, gorgeous area. I don't know if I'm going to be able to have a look at the national park. I don't know, can I spy? Let's just Google a picture of it. So as you can see here, it's very picturesque. It's a pity we can't get in and have a look at it, but the national park is lovely. Look at that now. Where else would you get that? Absolutely stunning. I'm going to try and show you the Gap of Dunlow as well. Let's see if we can get that up on maps. I think we can. Now, the Gap of Dunlow isn't necessarily in Killarney, but it is very close to Killarney, so I'm going to count it in the town review. Let's see, can we get a good look at this at all? Let's drop our man in and see. Look at this now for a bit of natural beauty. Down here at the Gap of Dunlow, a fine spot. A lot of natural beauty in the Killarney area, as there is everywhere in Ireland. There it is there now, 10 out of 10 natural beauty. You couldn't take it away from it. I love our little roads in Ireland that probably about 4 cars go down this at once, but it's not even wide enough for 1 car. That's character, that's what we do. Do a little bit more exploring in the Gap of Dunlow. It's a fine spot. Look at that now. Doesn't it just make you want a fucking frolic? I want to also try and show you here Killarney House and Gardens, a great spot too. Right, I don't know if we're going to be able to see into it. It's all walled off. You have to admit though, it's even a nice wall. Right, I've got a picture of it up for you here. Look at that now. Isn't that a fine place to be going for a day out? So I also want to show you here Muckross House, great spot as well. Look at that now for a house. You'd live there, wouldn't you? So this was owned by, I think it was, I forget the name of them. I think it was the Herberts, like 7 generations of rich people basically. And they just kept getting more and more money, built a lovely house for themselves. And at one point, Queen Victoria even visited Muckross House. She was hosted here. So it was good enough for her. Don't blame me, I didn't invite her. But yeah, a fine spot, they have a fine garden. This is how the other half live. But yeah, there's so much to see in Killarney, it would be impossible for me to cover it all. Look, now I'm around the back of a pump. Anything can happen. I think overall, I'm going to give Killarney a 9 out of 10. One of Ireland's greatest towns that cannot be denied. I'm deducting points for the first roundabout, and whatever that man was doing in the alleyway was putting me off a bit. But other than that, one of our greatest towns. Visit if you ever get the chance. I've been there a couple of times, one of my favourite places in Ireland. Hopefully enjoyed this little look into Killarney. And a big thank you to our sponsor, Gentle Bands, my first sponsor. I'm a YouTuber now. Until the next time I see ya, which will probably be soon enough, I hope you have a lovely day. Stay delicious and follow me. I'm delicious.
Hope you didn't want grandkids, Mom, because this queen thinks girl parts are icky.
Yeah, this is about the size of it. Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome back to hell. Will it ever stop being hell? I don't know. Let's wait 3 years for the next season to find out. That was a Stranger Things joke, if you didn't get it. Alright, so there is so much to say and criticize about the newest season of Stranger Things, both big and small. We have out-of-control Nancy plot armor, free-floating plot points that never get revisited, terrible writing, 11 spending the entire season trying to smooch the camera, and the show's main thrust coming out as gay to beat the bad guy. No, this is not a joke, and yes, I will show you this clip shortly. Be patient, Simon. I do have to say this video is edited a little bit differently to how I normally do videos where I talk about shows and films and whatnot, because apparently Netflix is really hot on the copyright strike / copyright claiming at the moment. Oh, I can't imagine what kind of criticism they're trying to stop. So sorry about that. I have still done my best, although there is still a very strong chance that this video is going to get copyright claimed anyway. So with that in mind, if you want to support the channel, you can do so by buying a box of my tea from the link in the description box. I promise it's really tasty. Like I told you guys last time, my winter flavors are running very low, especially now, especially again, the peppermint white chocolate. So grab a box if you like tea, grab a box if you want to support the channel, and that's all I'm doing. I'm talking so much. So in the last few days, everybody and their brother has talked about the show, and for good reason. The latest season is just quite painful. The cast themselves are apparently reacting to the final season of Stranger Things much the same way that the cast of Game of Thrones did, which tells you everything you need to know. These videos are always so hard to make because there's so much happening and there's so much to say, there's so many components. So once again, I'm just gonna zoom in on the things that I find to be the most annoying and unbearable. And obviously there will be some spoilers, so take note of that, small potatoes. So to quickly recap, Stranger Things Season 4 left us off with the town of Hawkins, where the story takes place, essentially being split in multiple directions in some sort of doomsday apocalyptic event. This is because the main antagonist, Vecna, killed a bunch of people in order to open a rift into another dimension called the Upside Down. For Season 5, we flash forward in time about 18-ish months, giving time for the military to move into Hawkins and lock it down as a quarantine zone. They also cover up the giant rift in the town with what is called a giant metal band-aid. And starting off Season 5 with, I guess, normalcy after what is now a meaningless cliffhanger definitely left a bad taste in a lot of mouths. I guess we were all expecting a lot more drama and not so much of this mundaneness. But mundaneness, that's actually quite hard to say. Mundaneness aside, this is only a fraction of what has upset viewers about this season. So far, episode 7, which dropped on Christmas, has the lowest rating of all the episodes in this season, and maybe even in the show. I would have to double check that, but I think that's maybe the case. And you might be wondering, but why, Sydney? Why is this? Well, in addition to all the other things I just mentioned, I think audiences have a bit of LGBT fatigue, and the end of episode 7 essentially amounted to, I have a huge secret that is stopping me from stopping the bad guy. I'm gay. Round of applause, please. And no, I'm not joking. guys. We even got a power of friendship hug out of this. Wow. Now, interestingly, people across the political spectrum absolutely hated this moment. I saw leftists everywhere saying this type of coming out moment is also incredibly unrealistic and so poorly written, considering too that this is set in the 80s and during the height of the AIDS epidemic. One tweet I saw accurately said that this coming out scene was painful and uncomfortable to watch, that is putting it mildly, and due to where it was placed in the story and how it was framed, it has inevitably become the subject of mockery. This person ended by writing, "After all the support the queer community has given this show over the years, it feels that the support was repaid by turning us into the punchline." Yeah, look, aside from the fact that unfortunately Will Byers' actor Noah Schnapp cannot act, which is just, I think, a very fair criticism, Netflix has once again gone ahead and Netflixed itself all over this show.
Guard
I
of the
really
North
have to pray
Globes.
that it's only
Very
American
nice.
Netflix that's like this. But fun fact, you can actually find this out by using the sponsor of today's video, Surfshark VPN. Dear Mr. FBI man, I've stopped using my Surfshark VPN so that we can be together again, and you can keep spying on me through my unprotected network. I think about you often, and I am prepared to delete Surfshark so that we can be together. I love you. No, Sydney. This is not the way. Your online information is more important than this weird relationship you think you have with thrilling, quirky 80s vibe show set in a weird little town where mysteries take place that our gang has to solve. Season 5 was entirely preoccupied with audience hand-holding and fixating on the Will is gay storyline that it alluded to towards the end of Season 4. If you've forgotten what that was, Will gave a heartfelt speech to his best friend Mike about how his relationship with Eleven, Mike's love interest, gave her strength to fight the bad guys. The implication, I guess, is that Will is in love with Mike, and Will doesn't have anyone to derive strength from himself.
You make her feel like she's not a mistake at all, like she's better for being different. And that gives her the courage to fight on. If she was mean to you, or she seemed like she was pushing you away, it's probably just because she's scared of losing you, just like you're scared of losing her. And if she was going to lose you, I think she'd rather just get it over with quick, like ripping off a band-aid. So yeah, Elle needs you, Mike, and she always will. Yeah?
Shortly after all of this, Noah Schnapp, which is just hilarious to say, also came out as gay in a life-imitating art kind of moment. You know, I really like how progressives pushed very hard to have characters represented by their real-life counterparts. So, you know, if you had a disabled character, then the actor had to be disabled. So now I suppose that if a character is going to grow up and be gay, then the actor must do so as well. Right, Will? Okay, I initially said this as a joke, but then I read this interview with Noah Schnapp where he said that Will helped him come out. So, dear God. Anyway, for those of you who watched and may have missed it, how you missed it, I don't know, but that's okay. The implication here in Season 5 is that Will needed to come out to ultimately defeat the main antagonist Vecna, because Vecna uses people's fears and weaknesses against them. Again, the jokes unfortunately write themselves with this one, and as a lot of other people have pointed out, the kid gets possessed and traumatized by this demon entity and then becomes gay. And what do you mean by this, Netflix? Will's biggest fear is that everybody will find out he likes boys and reject him, I guess, you know, given the context of the show and everything. And as an aside, I think this is just such a weird and weak plot device because, broadly speaking, I think it would mean that every character would have to sit down and express their innermost fears to a room full of people to avoid Vecna's ability to break them. And I just think that it's odd and weird and strange that this logic only seems to apply to Will and his sexuality. But that's neither here nor there. In a 2023 interview, one of the writers, Ross Duffer, said that this emotional arc is supposed to tie the whole series together. Not just Will's sexuality, but him coming into his own as a young man. And if that was what was happening, I think a lot of us could relate to it a lot better. But I don't think this is the coming of age moment that everybody was expecting. They apparently also had to shoot this one scene over and over and over again, with the writer saying that the whole day was very emotional and very moving, and they shot it until they got it right. Personally, I can't get over how many times Will's character says, and. I genuinely don't know who felt emotional watching this. Just cease. This is basically Netflix's I'm gonna be a dad scene.
Holy shit. I'm gonna be a dad.
Throughout the show, there is this subtle implication that Will is gay. And it didn't add to the storyline for the majority of us, but it also didn't take away from it either. And this was the same sense that a lot of people had around Robin, a character introduced in Season 3 who inevitably came out as a way of rejecting Steve, another character who expressed interest in her. Robin's coming out moment was subtle, it happened, and then the scene moved on from it. And really, in a 1980s context, plenty of people feel that this was the appropriate way to handle this. These revelations, I would say, sort of just hung in the air, existing, because I would argue for the majority of us, a character being gay is pretty whatever. I don't actually think the vast majority of people really care at this point in time. But in a show like this, I think when it becomes an issue is when that character's personality and their entire plot revolves around their attraction. And Stranger Things Season 5 basically did exactly this. They committed the cardinal sin, and then they decided to ham-fist as many of these moments and scenes into the show as they possibly could. Basically giving us unnecessary characters like Vicky, for example, who's basically just a vehicle to explore Robin's sexuality, and a bunch of filler which just sort of hampers the show and completely messes with the pacing. Admittedly, I got roasted for this take, but I still maintain that I'm correct and the rest of you are wrong, but that's neither here nor there. But this is exactly how I felt about Bill in the first season of The Last of Us show. In a video that I posted on my gaming channel, which I would love to post over there, guys, I really don't know what to make. I'm bad at this, okay? I explained that Bill being gay is a footnote in the Last of Us game. It's alluded to if you bother to read the notes when you're exploring and you're finding things in the game, but the show dedicated an entire episode to Bill being gay. And again, I think that this would have been stupid even if it was a straight couple, because why? People got incredibly mad with me for how much I disliked all of this, but again, I maintain that it just strayed too far from the source material. I think it's a problem to dedicate an entire episode to someone's love story, and I would feel like this even if they did it with a straight couple. So do with that what you will. It must be hard having all of you be wrong together and having me be the only one that's right. Jokes aside, this situation for me is sort of the same thing. Will can be gay, and it's fine. Robin can be gay, and it's fine. Why this has become a central part of the show, I don't know. Why this became the main thrust of a cliffhanger episode going into the...
Classic. A whole sci-fi show ends up being about kids coming out. Like, okay, also, why is this such a big deal? Aren't they kids still in the show? I think they're teenagers now, or teenagers are early 20s. I think they're still pretending to be kids in the show. But no, this is a classic activism.
The finale? I also don't know. And it's almost been done in such a way that Eleven, who I think is the actual protagonist here, you're welcome to disagree, but I think she's sort of the cornerstone of the show, she's been more or less sidelined. We ended off with Season 4 with it very much seeming like Season 5 would be a showdown between Eleven and Henry, or Vecna. Instead, as plenty of other people have pointed out, minor characters like Holly have had
Yeah, it's big played out. I'm kind of glad that AI's you're gonna be able to just like prompt a movie in AI, not have to watch this garbage.
much more screen time than Eleven herself. Now, what's really interesting is that in 2022, the Duffer Brothers, so the people who wrote the show, gave an interview where they said that their intention for Season 5 was to be pedal to the metal from day one. In their own words, there would be no room or no time to explore romance arcs or side stories, and yet I feel like that's all we got.
Season 5 is going to start pedal to the metal. I mean, we're not going to do the ramp up. There's no time. There's no normalcy, obviously, once you reach the end of 4. I mean, it's not like there's going to be time to explore our characters. love life and how is Steve's dating going. And I mean, there's going to be none of that. It's just going to be going 100 miles an hour from the beginning. I mean, we have like the opening scene for 5 mapped out. I don't know if it'll stay like that, but it's pretty wild.
There are moments in season 5 where important things are happening, and Will and Robin are off somewhere having conversations about same-sex attraction that feel just wildly inappropriate considering the context of the scene. Like the big speech that Robin gives Will about self-acceptance on their way to save a bunch of children from Vecna. This felt so weird and so out of place. Maybe it's just me, but I would also feel this way if it was a straight character
they're still
going
like
on
teenagers in
about
the
their
show.
love life and their
Or
interests
they're
and
supposed to
things
be.
in moments like this, because it just
Pretty
feels
sus.
weird and inappropriate. I don't know how to explain it. It's like this just doesn't fit into sort of the vibe of the show. I had similar sentiments about Nancy and Jonathan's near-death moment in the Upside Down, where they are basically trying to break up before they die, as you do. I watched this and I thought, okay, I get that this is supposed to let the audience take a breath for a second. That's usually what these kind of scenes are all about. But what is happening here? Was this really the best use of our time? Now, some will argue that the speech Robin gave leads Will to self-acceptance, which is how he awakens his powers and helps everybody during the part where he awakens his powers and helps everybody. But in the context of the show, once again, this just feels somewhat unrealistic. You have a kid who, up until, well, honestly, probably a few hours ago, couldn't come to terms with who he is. Suddenly he does because of one pep talk by the only other gay person that he knows, as if none of the other people who love him have had any bearing on him advancing as a person. It's just such a weird disservice to the relationships and the friendships that he's cultivated with his loved ones and best friends. It's also a disservice to the characters themselves that audiences have fallen in love with over the course of the show. And I think this ultimately rolls me around to one of my biggest criticisms here. Everything just sort of feels irrelevant in the end because the original plot points, the original relationships, the original point of everything has sort of been abandoned so that we can have this Disney Channel-esque soap opera. Yeah, sure, the Earth opened up into this giant rift portal, but hey, none of that matters because giant metal band-aid. We have plot points that are left entirely unthreaded, like the whole Russian thing and the mind flayer particles. And beyond the giant glaring issues, some of the most annoying parts are the little things that just don't make any sense. Like, 11, why are you making duck faces in every scene, girl? What is this? The Upside Down is apparently now a place where you can just go to hang out. It's not a threat at all anymore.
Character
It started off
development
as
sucks
really
these days,
scary, and
especially
now
for
it's
female
distinctly
characters.
unscary. We have Demogorgons screaming at main characters instead of attacking them, giving them time to get away. And I mean, like, let's be real. Okay, you have demo dogs like not hearing music, but they can hear an oxygen tank in a dry. Like, what are we doing? And I mean, the power level of the Demogorgons actually just straight up changes depending on who's attacking them. Getting shot 900 times by the military? 'Tis but a flesh wound. Getting stabbed in the face with a bottle?
Fatality.
Then, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, we have all the plot armor, not just for Nancy, but basically for everybody, which has given us 19 different storylines, which apparently all need to be fleshed out, which means that now we have too many characters, and some of them need to just be killed off. And because I'm a terrible, awful cynic, I think this leads us to wasting a bunch of screen time on irrelevant people and their irrelevant problems. What made this show compelling to begin with was watching characters unravel the mystery of what was happening along with the audience. They knew about as much as we did, and the whole thing was being solved at our pace as viewers. This was abandoned entirely going
First
into
season
later
was
seasons,
good,
and
too.
now
I liked
every
it.
character seems to exist for the sole purpose of exposition and telling us, rather than exploring and showing us. There is also no sense of urgency in season 5, and why would there be? The biggest threat the gang is apparently facing is the military passively being in their town. And when there is a threat, like I mentioned, we end up with characters casually plodding along, discussing their innermost feelings in really inopportune ways and times. So stop this. This might actually just be me, and maybe I haven't thought about it deeply enough, but one of the things that I do like about this season is how they have explained what the Upside Down is. I think the explanation of it being a separate dimension was fine. They could have just left it at that. But it being a wormhole between two worlds is really cool. And I like that. I think that's a little bit interesting. Beyond that, I do think this season really feels like one giant filler episode, and it's so sad because it just didn't have to be this way. So, as
I got the
with
kettle.
other really,
Is that what I was
good
supposed to
shows
get?
that have
Kettle?
had a bunch of really good, well-received seasons, this could have been so great. But instead, for whatever reason, the writers and everybody involved decided to go down
Kettle?
the Game of Thrones
Pike
road.
needs
And really,
reach
that is a
revenge of
travesty.
Parmesan.
And to anybody who is misconstruing the frustration
Kettle can be found
around Will
somewhere.
coming out in
The kettle
episode
was
7,
uncovered.
this is not
Yeah,
because a
Mum,
character is gay, it's because the payoff that we've all been waiting for amounted to a
Yeah.
teenager telling everybody in his life, whether he's close to them or not, that he's same-sex attracted, and that apparently is going to give him the power to defeat the bad guys. It's just such a forced, weird agenda that doesn't fit organically into this story at all. I will maintain this. I personally do not think that most viewers would care if Will was gay and that was the end of it. But the writers forced this into the show in the most bizarre, uncomfortable way humanly possible. And the things that led to this weird coming out scene are many of the same things that led to the other criticisms about this season. The too much talking, the too much exposition, the too many storylines. And importantly, not enough action and movement that we have spent the last 4 seasons building up towards and waiting for. I think it's really sad what has happened to the show, and I think it's really sad that they bizarrely lost their way, and it almost feels like somewhere along the road, like, I don't know, it's like the beginning of season 5, they were like, hey, actually, we're gonna have a new protagonist, and it's gonna be Will, and 11, you don't matter anymore, and nothing that you do matters, and nothing that we've told you up until this point about this world really matters. I don't know what happened to this show. I don't know why season 5 came out this way. I don't know why they seemingly decided to pursue a different protagonist part of the way through. I don't know why 11 has been sidelined. I don't know why we've ended up with a great big nothing. We ended on a cliffhanger and then came back with nothing. Here, I hope you enjoy your bag of nothing. But ultimately, I do think all of this is incredibly disappointing, and I think it tarnishes the legacy of what this show was. People have been watching this since 2016, waiting and hoping for a final season that would tie it all together with a pretty little bow, and a lot of people just haven't gotten that. In the end, I think that this demonstrates that Netflix is unfortunately gonna Netflix, and eventually the studios will get the memo that people are done with this. People are done with this type of storytelling, and they want to go back to something that is meaningful. They want to go back to something that actually makes sense and that has the drive and ambition and creativeness that we have seen in shows and in movies and whatever in the past. In this case, unfortunately, Netflix has completely missed the mark, and it's very, very disappointing that this show has ended this way. Now, on that note, and before I open the floor to all of you, this is just a reminder, check out Surfshark using the link in the description. I have only ever used Surfshark as my VPN, so I am obviously a big fan of them. They have been a long time supporter of this channel, so if you are in need of a good VPN, absolutely check them out. Now, I open the floor to all of you. What do you all think? Are you a fan of Stranger Things and you're quite surprised that it was taken in this direction? Are you not surprised and you think that it was sort of inevitable? Are you in the middle somewhere and you don't really care? What do you make of the way that Will came out? Do you think that that was a good way of telling his story, a bad way of telling his story? Do you think that it kind of tarnishes the entire show doing it this way? What do you make of the 19 million storylines that have been going on in this season? Are they good? Are they bad? Are they necessary? Are you frustrated that we came back from this massive cliffhanger to nothing, to just normal, mundane nonsense? Is that good? Is that bad? And what do you generally make of this issue overall? As always, if you have made it this far in the video, congratulations. I always like having you along for the full ride. If you are new here and you're not subscribed already and you would like to see more of me and more of this kind of content, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I can't speak today. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, as well as leaving this video a like and a comment, because I do read the majority of them and I like hearing your feedback. Like I always say, I hope you wonderful little chickadee people stay safe and well and make good choices, and I will see your wonderful little schmoodle poodle faces in the next video.
Schmoodle poodle? Fuck.
Well, I will come out on top by the end of this video. Let me make that clear.
My name is Lou, and I put my bed frame up for free on Facebook Marketplace. DJ, hit that track.
And It's a performance.
Now I have turned it into a PowerPoint and also a musical. And because it's being filmed for national TV, I've decided to leave her full name and Facebook profile picture in, because I don't give a Is the bed frame still available? Yes, it is. Gay emoji. Can I please negotiate the price? No.
What's with all the emojis? Negotiate the money bag. I ain't writing price, that's too long.
It's free. You're on a hard bargain, Lucia, but that's just not the way marketplace working. I'm like, okay, how about half price just for you, Eileen? How much now? Still free. Dance, dance, dance. You are the best. Party, party. Here's my address. Wow, that's a long, long way from my place now. How about a small discount? I said,
Eileen, I don't think you're getting it. This is my dad haggling at yard sales. What's that? It's 50p. I'll give you 75. Deal. Gotcha. 15p off. That's 25p extra, Dad. Sure it is.
I can't be clear. It's free to pick up. Could you drive it to me, please? What the No, please, no, please, no, please, no, please. I don't own a car. Why didn't you say so? I can drive. See you tomorrow at 5.
No way.
Very, very early the next morning, I received this message from Eileen. Lucia, I'm out the front. Sent at 5 a.m.
Wow. So when she said I see you at 5, she meant 5 a.m. 5 a.m. she's there.
Said see you at 5. Please come out and let me in. I should have known not to trust you. Axe, pickaxe, fire.
Oh, wow.
Should have known you didn't care. Vomit, fire. I show up on time. Are you dead? Please. Where is bed? I was like, finding Coney, it's where is bed? How was I supposed to know that what you meant was 5 a.m.? Knock, knock, knock. Let me in. No, it's not an ideal time for you to get the bed frame. What time then? I'm like, could you come back at 8? But I'm outside. Yeah, my housemates are sleeping. Should I just knock? This is getting creepy.
What's that? Should I just knock? Goofy.
8 a.m. That's my final offer. What if I gave you $200? I'm like, Charlotte, no way, your bet is worth shit. You won't get that out of me. I'm like, you don't have to collect it. Okay, see you at 8. I go back to sleep. I wake up at 8.
She's the easiest person to negotiate with in the world, I think. You just have to a little bit of pushback. She's like, all right, fine.
Is she there? No fucking way. 12 hours later, this. Let's see you. I'm here again. It's 8 p.m. Yes, where is the bed? Is the concept of time too hard for you to comprehend? You're 12 hours late. I can't get you the bed. I'm at work right now. Like, I'm not even home, but I came all the way back for it. Yup. No. Please. Heartbreak. Pumpkin emoji. Sorry. Typo. Seriously, please. Where the bed?
I got the cooking pot. Yeah.
Is she gonna get the bed?
Sure. Okay. Housemate's home. Knock on the door. Ask for Tim. 402, 403.
I'm gonna put a
403.
I'm gonna put a teleport, I think, up here because we're really far away and I don't see any spires around here.
But I really want it and I'm already there. The bed's not packed up. This is not what I expected. I'm taking off the bedding and the pillow and the mattress. What? There is no bedding. Just Dr. Tim. He'll show you what to take.
She's just in there taking shit. Can I have that as well? And what about this rose toy? Do you get much use out of that?
Picture a pillow. That's not my pillow. Taking pillow. Where'd you get the pillow? What even is the pillow? Where the fuck are you? Is Eileen there? No. Shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's perfect. It's exactly what I want. Bigger than I thought. And free bedding. Thank you. 5 stars. Miss call. 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 Cannot talk driving with Ben. Eileen, can you please pick up? Gay. I don't think you took my bed. Tim said you never picked it up. Thank you for the bed, Lucia. Miss call. Eileen, a message from my neighbor in our apartment complex. We have been robbed. Our bed was taken. Lock your doors! Eileen, you stole my neighbor's bed. My bed's still here. You took the wrong bed from the wrong house. I didn't know such thing. Then she blocks me. Eileen, please. Where is bed?
It was all a robbery. It was all a robbery all along. All along after all. I should have known. Never trust an Eileen, guys. Never trust an Eileen. My dad's bad with technology. My dad made a TikTok account and made the username his name and social security number. How? What? Fair enough. Just lay it all out. We don't have social security numbers in the UK. Is that bad to give that out? Because I'm not sure. Old people Facebook. It's with great sadness. Really? In my heart that my 49-year-old son Shane died this morning. They think this is crying. That's a lot. That's crying with laughter. I wonder if anyone told them or was just like, nah, just probably not right. I'll wait a week. Give it a week. At least. Shane's gone. Shane's in the mud. We need to leave it a bit. Be a bit respectful. My chlamydia is in full bloom. God, boomers versus typos, am I right? My chlamydia is in full bloom. Show me that pussy. Puppy. Show me the puppies. A big thank you to Devon, Robert, Bill, and BV for having my daughter cleaned out. I deeply appreciate it. Thank you again. Love you guys. I think you meant gutters. Thanks for cleaning my daughters out. Thank you for Devon, Robert, and Bill for absolutely railing my daughters. I really appreciate it. Love you guys. Why post it on Facebook? Why? That's something I never understand. I know, I'm going to announce this to the world. Thank you for cleaning out my gutters. I love you. I love you. Seriously, thank you. I love you. You guys are amazing. Facebook needs to hear this. How are boomers this mind-numbingly dumb? Rude. Is the price negotiable? I did not write the above statement. I can't even spell negotiable. I've been hacked. I wish whoever is doing this would get a life. Is this still available? Hacker, get a life, scumbag. It's not a hacker, lol. When you click on the comment section, pre-written comment option pops up. I accidentally hit them all the time. Do you have more photos? I'm 63, but I'm betting I can still whip your ass. Whip. If you have the guts to show who you are, scumbag hacker. By the way, this is all Wilma, if you haven't noticed. All of it. Every single one of it. She's talking to herself like, by the way, that's not a hacker. It is a hacker, but it's not. Is this still available? Yes. Who is this? I don't have a camper for sale. I have the camper for sale. You asked me if it's still available. No, I don't know what you were talking about. How do you end up doing that? That doesn't even feel like boomer stuff. That's just like, give me a haircut. That's what's that. See? That's what this is doing to me.
Old people not knowing how Facebook works, part 3. There is a...
Oh, do you want to chew that mic anymore? Oh, I wonder if you can get the mic further down your throat. God damn, you're in my brain, dude.
We're all in my car. Where's the banana bread recipe? Banana bread recipe. No.
She really wants to make banana bread recipe. What is this? No. Someone just DM'd them something. They're like, I've got to post about this.
We got your STD. Thanks for sharing. What? The damn UPS man ran over my dog. Balloons. I can't stand when Chinese.
Oh.
Party tonight. Fred passed away. My wife left me. Milk. All my broad...
I think they were probably trying to make a shopping list there. We definitely need milk. I can't forget that one. Let me write that one down.
They're missing. I have shingles. Now, anybody want to order Girl Scout cookies? Let me know. I'm helping out. Got bad gas today.
Oh,
Help.
no. Help with the love heart emoji. Help. In response to my grandma's post about her grandchildren. Okay. That's a great blessing. I will never have grandchildren because my daughter is a lesbian. Very sad.
We see how...
Imagine if you were the one being stuffed for Thanksgiving dinner. My husband Barry stuffs me after dinner. Gobble, gobble. God bless. Gobble, gobble. God bless. Oh, good for you, Janine. Good for you. Seriously, good for you. Do you want this bowl? Granny created a group. Do you want this bowl? Granny added you, changed the group's icon, then left. You're now the admin. And it's just you in there. That's the funniest shit ever. She just left it there. She was like, do you want this bowl? Gone. Answer that. Let me know next time you're around. Oh, guys, I'm going to have to leave it there because I don't know how this thingamajig works. Or this thing here. I don't know how these things work, so I'm going to have to leave it there. Although I don't know how to turn them off, so I guess I'll just wait till I need to film another video then.
I'm good, just like my mother, Janine, and my father, Daryl, and also my sister, Beatrix, who lives at 123 Fuck Me Lane. You want to know my social security number? Because I have it right here.
It's been 2 weeks now, the last time I sent him money, and that was simply because he was starving.
Poor dude, he was starving. He was maxing out your credit cards, but he was starving. She's just a good Samaritan, okay? She's a married woman who likes penises and cats. And she also likes helping really attractive men. That's all. There's nothing wrong with this situation.
The amount started to pile up, and Sarah lost track of how much money she was sending. He needed money for food.
I'm starving, babe. Please send money so I can eat. The mission was a success. I have no money for water, my queen. What even is that sentence, by the way? The mission was a success. I have no money for water. That sounds like a failure, doesn't it?
Water, medicine.
My doctor says the painkillers are gonna cost $250. My doctor sets these prices. I meet him behind an alley. He's got lots of needles.
This guy was either a scammer or the unluckiest man on the planet. They never video chatted.
Cooking pot in the
Sarah
house?
is still claiming she was
You
never
should try
in
those
love with
chocolates.
John.
I might.
Yes, of course.
I
Sarah
absolutely
wasn't
might.
in love with John. She just really wanted him to get home. So she paid his money for like 8 months. She ruined her life because she wasn't in love. This is a friendship ruining type scam right here. She friendly ruined her life.
Friendship is great. Must go get friends. Brainwashing people is fun.
After sending thousands of dollars just in plane tickets, John finally made it on a plane and left Syria.
All right. It's not a commercial place at this point, guys. I know that Americans know this. I know somewhere deep down in the dodo brains of these certain people, they understand. Nobody wakes up and says, hello, I'm going to Syria, like to see the view. Not exactly a place right now that many people are flying to. It's not a commercial flight that everyone's like, I'll stop in Jamaica, then I'll go to Syria. Like, none of that, okay? Oh my god, he hopped on a plane.
Syria.
Really?
But he was detained in Pennsylvania as soon as he exited the plane.
Yeah, that sounds about right. They detained him. They were like, you're the guy who's been having wars. Yes, and we got you right here in Pennsylvania where we want you. Detain him. That's what they do to those soldiers who come on commercial flights after doing wars.
Once things progressed and John wanted money, I did not originally tell my husband. I kept it a secret.
Right. That's good. Keeping monetary secrets from your spouse. That's how you create a 22-year marriage. Okay, Jada Pinkett. Seriously, wow.
He knew how to play on my weaknesses.
Girl, please. You were horny, and that's it.
I am obsessed with penis.
Stand up!
He didn't know how to play on your weaknesses. This man's playing on my nerves. Sarah, I'm hungry. Come on. Would you have empathy? You're like, I'm also hungry all the time. I'll give you money. We could make this work, baby. All I ever want to do is make things right. If you had any self-control, you wouldn't have talked to someone. You're a married woman.
If I can keep him alive,
Woman.
maybe he'll find a way to get out of his situation that he's in now. I want to know why the heck our military is treating people like this.
Because they're not. For once, the military is actually has nothing to do with this, Sarah. She really thinks the military's doing this, and it's not some delusional shit that is happening to her. These people are unreal. She would wake up and be like, the military's just detaining people. How can you do that? This guy doesn't have money for water or food. He keeps getting shot right here, right there. That's really painful. It's itchy. Just tough.
He's not being provided like your basic needs. Now he's in the United States. I said, you're close enough, like you're 8 hours away from me. Why don't I take a road trip?
She wants his
penis
so badly. She said the words, you're 8 hours away, it's not that far. Can you imagine if you ordered Uber Eats and your driver was 8 hours away? Would you be like, it's not that far. I'll have it for breakfast the next morning. He said he's in the States. She said, really? Can I come to see you? I have 2 time off, okay? I would be okay with driving too. Imagine taking an 8-hour road trip and being like, honey, I'll be back. I'm going to get groceries from a different state. They have the milk I like. Really. Doesn't care about Brian at all. Just willing to just drive away into the sunset to meet this other dude.
I can take a road trip. I can take some time. I have time off. We can meet somewhere. I want him to follow through with what he has promised me.
What did he promise you? Because she didn't actually say that Brian promised anything, unless she's talking about Brian giving her a better life in which she wants to leave. I'm sorry, I keep saying Brian because that's who I really want her to be with, but John is the person that she wants to be with, because John has the Johnson that she likes, and I know that she's seen his, but it's because she's just obsessed. 100% this woman explained that she's obsessed with penises, and he said, oh really? And she said, really? Wink wink.
In the beginning, I did want to meet him. I thought it would be nice. I thought it would be cool.
She spent like thousands of dollars because it would be cool to meet him. This is what happens, you know, when people like spend exorbitant amounts of money to meet like celebrities because they think it would be cool. It's the same thing, man. I don't know what you think's gonna happen. This is crazy.
And my husband was okay with it.
Was he? Was he really?
I have nothing to hide. I'm owning my mistake. I'm owning what I did, and I hope that people respect me for that because I have nothing to hide.
Spoiler alert, she hides a lot from her husband. But we're supposed to feel sorry for her, and you can almost get a sense of this as being part of the relationship. This woman seems like when she's backed into a corner, she'll start crying and make you feel guilty for something that maybe you didn't even do. I feel like this is the type of person that just never grows because every time they're forced with coming to terms with the responsibility, they start crying.
I don't feel like I necessarily did anything wrong.
Brian's just sitting alone. You left Brian alone again. The camera's not even on. He's just sitting there. What does Brian just sit every day? Can you do something with this man? Someone get him a coffee or a baguette or just a croissant, something like that, please, for Brian. This poor dude's just sitting.
I think most of the blame lays on this particular person because he was deceitful. Did I love him? No, not in that sense.
I love this. I told you it's my favorite thing. When people start asking questions that nobody else asked, they just start asking themselves questions and they answer it. It's like, wow, you don't even need me to be here to have a conversation with you. Can you imagine someone be like, did I love him? No, I didn't.
Well, who are you
want
talking
to
to?
love
Why
him?
do you
Yes,
keep
I did.
asking questions to yourself, lady?
And at this point, do I still care for him? I care for the person who I originally met, and it's sad.
Sarah cleared out her 401k, maxed out all of her credit cards.
Sarah maxed out her ability points on luck because she lucked out with the guy, man. She got no other points in her stats. She got the negative IQ points and shit like that. It's not good. Sarah got limited IQ, limited ability to actually understand situations. She's got 100% Delulu ability.
And sent her life savings to this man. This has forced her to pick up multiple part-time jobs to be able to survive.
Or
Cooking
one full-time
station.
job, perhaps. But anyway, yes, go on.
We are struggling way more than we necessarily would have to.
Do you know what the irony is? This dude was scamming her by saying he doesn't have food and water. And the irony is that she might not have food and water after this scam is done. If you think about it, it's poetic.
I think it got to the point where this has definitely sent me into a depression financially. It's ruined us.
Yeah, the sad
Chamomile
part is that
tea?
she didn't say ruin me, she said
Ooh.
us. She brought Brian down with her. That's the only part that I feel sorry about.
Overgrowth
Like, I would
tool?
normally be like, oh, girl, you reap what you sow. But at the same time, Brian's just sitting there.
Was it hard to get? It was hard. It was hard to get.
He's financially
Unironically.
wrecked as well, just because he married that.
The couple are doing everything they can to get back on their feet. Sarah opened up an account on Feet Finder. Sarah opened up an account on multiple part-time
We are
jobs
struggling.
and has resorted
Also,
to selling
if you didn't
images
see
of
the
her
cat,
feet to people online to make
it's
ends
stuck
meet.
somewhere in the nut tree.
Try to hustle, like by selling feed pictures and
We
that
need
kind
to
of weird
cook the
stuff.
deer
Feet
milk
Finder,
with
the
honey.
safest
Oh,
and easiest
shit,
website
okay.
to buy and sell custom feet content. It never
I can go
amazes
look
me
for
what
some
they
more honey,
actually
too.
like as people. It's a tough thing. It's a tough gig. I'm sorry. It's never gonna be a good story. You know, remember Grandma? Yeah, she was financially. She fell upon hard times, so she had to sell her feet pics. And then all the grandsons are like, oh God, oh man, Grandma had it tough. That's a tough thing to be like, man, I'm working 2 part-time jobs and selling feet pics. There's definitely one way to look at it. I guess if there's a buyer, then you're in business, huh?
It's not like I'm rolling in dough or anything like that. I'm trying to make a living, and you can sell feet pictures, but and stuff like that. I only sold a couple of those.
Okay, I need to know this.
I can
Who
do this
blurred out
later
with the
though if
pictures?
you want
I
to
don't
make
know if it's
a
Scamfish
couple
or
to
like
have.
the
I don't know
site
if it's
has
good for
blurred it out,
stamina.
And then when you buy it, then it's like it shows it to you.
So it
'Cause
looks
at this
like you
point,
can
I'm
grill
sure there's a
meat on
huge
it.
Market for it. People are
Cook.
like yes.
Oh, it's
And they got
amazing for
pictures and they're, like,
stamina.
really happy for it. but like this is crazy, right? Like this is a little bit crazy, or not really. Is everyone okay with this? I mean, in that case, I don't know what I'm doing on YouTube.
Oh man, this is the best thing. I'm glad you had me got this.
Put like they paint their.
There should be
toes and,
honey
they do,
and
like,
salt
puppets
food
with
in
their,
the
like,
bin if you haven't
I
been
know that people
snacking.
be like liking that shit.
So honey
then,
and uncooked milk.
A couple people
Okay.
bought me
I get it.
pedicures. I confessed everything to my husband and told him how much money. I have sent John.
At some point, Sarah decides that Feet Finder is not the place for her, and she's just gonna confess to Brian, who takes it extremely well because he's good guy Brian.
You know, he basically said it's money and we'll deal with it as it comes along. I just kind of want to know if this person is actually who he says he is.
I feel like Sarah doesn't understand that she's still committed to her husband and has a life outside of John, and she's still, for some reason, like, I just want to know if he's real, because if he is, I'll leave this guy right now. She's still on that. Like, she doesn't seem to understand she's willingly ruining Brian's life in the process.
After a few days of digging into everything, we felt that we had all the information to give clarity to Sarah. We sat down with Sarah first to get more insight on her relationship with John.
So at this point, they start asking questions and things, and they want to interview the couple, but they feel the need to do it one by one because it turns out that Sarah didn't really tell
It's
Brian
20 stamina and plus
and it's
15
probably best
stamina
to do it
regen.
one by one. So firstly, they start with Sarah.
This is
Just so you know,
amazing.
like, Brian and I are married. We own this business together. You know, we've been out and like.
It
you
is
know,
a
there's
liquid
guys that
though,
will
so
give
it's
her
gonna replace
attention,
my
or even-
milk
I
probably.
know you guys in the YouTube comments always leaving comments for her, but I laugh at it. For me, it's like not that big of a deal.
We need more
All
Fey
right,
milk.
David.
More
Look,
Fey deer
buddy,
milk.
David is, he loves his wife. Very nice. You know, of course it's not real, David. There's people in the comments. I think David's one comment away from starting to beat up the comment section. He's very protective of his wife. It's good, but like, those are comments, Davey boy.
When you open yourself up to like having somebody tell you you're beautiful all the time in these long conversations, do you think that like, you know, feelings start to evolve over that time because those words are being traded, you know, all the time?
Let me elaborate on what David said and actually truncate it a bit. Bitch, are you insane? That's kind of what he was trying to say. You're married. You're disrespecting one person because you're trying to practice monogamy, but you're willingly doing this. You're flirting with another man. You're letting him flirt with you.
Did I care about him? Yes.
Oh, she's asking her own questions? David asked you a question. You can't ask a question by asking yourself a random ass question. Can you imagine if you were like in
The plain
KFC
ghost milk
and
should have
the
stamp
guy's
stuff
"What
too,
would
by
you
the
like?"
way.
And then you
Yeah,
reply,
that's
"Do
what
I
I've been
like
using
chicken?"
so far.
Yes. Do I feel hungry? Also yes. Do I want pizza?
I've been using just the regular milk because it's
I'm
good
from
for
the
like,
Pizza
you
Hut.
know, you don't
Goodbye.
need like a lot of stamina.
Was I hoping to meet him in person? Yes.
Just say that you were hoping to meet him. I don't understand. Why does she need to ask random
It's like
questions?
double
Did
better, so much better.
Have feelings for him that I probably shouldn't have? Yes. Do I still have them?
We need more.
No,
Maybe more
I don't
Fey
think
deer.
so.
Maybe like
You
2
don't
more
need to
Fey deer.
interrogate this woman. You could be at a crime
Just to get
scene
enough
and she's
milk
like,
to
"Did I steal this thing?
always have it.
Yes. Did I want to? Yes. Am I guilty? Yes. Now leave me alone."
Because of everything that he's done, but it's very difficult to admit to yourself that
You're a hoe bag. Sorry.
you got played by somebody and that somebody is that cruel
game,
to do that to another human being.
Yeah. No, listen. I mean, at the bottom of the
Better than
the
water.
bottom
Fuck.
of the day, right? The end of the line.
Thank you.
The
This
end
is
of
a
the
great
day.
one.
The bottom of the day. Whatever you call it. It sucks that people scam other people. It sucks. It really sucks that just people prey on other people. But that's kind of like how the food chain works, you know? People see individuals that can take from. Some people are just, they're shitty human beings. But it takes two to tango in this instance. And like, he could be like, "Sarah!" the whole day. If you didn't answer him, he would just stop. The problem is you fed into that and kept doing it for 6 to 8 months. And you had ulterior motive. clearly. And that doesn't make you a very great person either, considering you have a Brian at home.
I probably liked him. I liked the attention that he gave me, and I figured if I continued to do the things that he asked me to do, he would continue to give me that praise.
Yes, exactly. That's way more honest answer. She liked the attention. She wanted to get with him. She, for some reason, doesn't value her husband or his feelings, or just feels like she needs more. Those are real things that you should talk to with your therapist, instead of scam fish after you've been scammed out of all that money you could have used for therapy.
From how she described it, it seemed that there was intimacy involved, but her husband was okay with it. Brian then sat down with us to give his perspective on the situation.
Yeah, so after they talked to her, they also figured out that she might be possibly doing like more illicit, intimate stuff with good old Johnny Boy. But now we talked to Brian. Finally, I get to hear what Brian has to say.
Obviously, we spoke to Sarah. You know, this has been going on for a few years. Walk us through, like, you know, what's been going on.
I just see it as it's just another day. it's just more of the usual.
Somebody get Brian out of there. We need to break Brian out of that. Come on, that can't be the first thing your husband of
Right to
22
jail.
years says. Brian, did you know about this? It's just another day.
I don't know anything about John. I didn't even know his name until the other day. The only thing she really told me is that she was scammed out of about $60,000, and it was all investments that she lost.
It's not investments, unless she was investing in that dick. That's really concerning that he didn't even know their name. And she said that she confessed everything to her husband, so someone's been lying, and I don't think it's Brian, because Brian doesn't have anything to gain from the lie. So that's bad. You can even see like the catfish people being like, shit, this is worse than we thought.
There may have been losses more than 60,000.
Imagine if your wife or something's like, made bad investment, lost 60K. John, question mark. It's kind of like not really explaining how you lost that much money. Brian's so forgiving. He's like, okay, I guess we're just 60,000 down. All right, that's just, you had a tough day, honey.
I'm fine. Totally fine.
I just wanted to support her any way I could.
When she continued to talk to him, like, how did that make you feel?
Honestly, I didn't know about that until today.
It's at this point when the saddest moment in the whole episode occurs. They ask about after she confessed how he felt about the whole thing and the fact that she continues to talk to him, and he's like, shit, I didn't even know about that. There's a moment of pause where you can see Brian actually almost letting out the sadness. And I mean, I feel like you can see it in his eyes, or just the way that he is. He's just, I don't know. There's a level of disrespect that is kind of crazy here.
Brian didn't seem to know about a lot of the details between Sarah and John.
Does she have a chin? She looks like Sheen from Jimmy Neutron. Bro, she doesn't have a chin.
To be honest, it didn't seem like he wanted to know.
To be honest, it doesn't seem like a human should be structured that way, but it looks like a thumb attached to a face.
But he did want to support his wife, whether John was real or not. We brought them together, and it was time to let them know what we had found.
Okay, so finally they present their findings. They're together, and I mean, you know what's gonna happen. I feel like this is gonna be a scammer from good old Africa.
We did happen to find the real person in the image. His name is Anthony Tingle.
He's not a celebrity or anybody that you guys would know, but he is somebody that has his image stolen all the time.
It turns out that John was lying about who he said he was. John does not exist.
Well, John exists, he's just not that. But his name was Anthony Tingle? That's a funny name.
And this whole thing was a romance scam.
That makes me feel better to know that I have a name now.
Please don't look him up. Oh my god, please don't look him up. It just occurred to me that her having his full name is going to be like, Anthony Tingle, I'm so sorry. I got scammed by you, but I think you're really hot, though.
I know I've learned my lesson, and I will never be doing anything like this ever again. And I can only hope that it'll make us stronger.
It's just money.
It is a lot of money, though, Brian. Like, it is just money, but she willingly lost it over potentially a man that doesn't exist because she got scammed because she wanted to bang him, clearly, and she's disrespecting you. Like, the reason that she lost the money is, it seems like it's hard for Brian to really put this into perspective, and I don't know much about him. I don't know why he's staying with her, but I feel like if you respect yourself, you wouldn't let this happen. I'm not saying Brian has no self-respect, but clearly this woman doesn't respect him, so it's kind of a tough position.
Is there anything that you want to say to Brian?
No, just that I love him and that I am super glad that he's willing to stand by me through the worst thing that I've ever done and that I will probably, hopefully, ever do.
Somehow that doesn't seem sincere. Somehow the fact that she said no before she said all that,
No, just
and then didn't even look at him when she said that, makes it feel like it's not true. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but it feels more like a performance because she's on camera. I don't like that.
he's my soulmate. He's my better half.
Bitch, for 8 months, you're trying to get this man to wiggle Anthony Tingle to tingle off his pants so you can see what's underneath. If you find a soulmate, you don't do that to a soulmate, okay? That's a soul date if you're going on other ones.
We took the next steps and looked into all the crypto wallets a few days later.
Now that things have kind of died down, where are you at?
I'm just ready for it to be done.
So 1 week later, Drew hops in and they meet up with this girl again, and they just discuss basically the last parts of this case and sort of recheck in with Brian, everyone's hero.
We looked into all of Sarah's financial information. She sent over $250,000 just in Bitcoin to John.
God, that is one expensive ding dong.
So here's how it worked. Sarah first exhausted all of her accounts, savings and 401k, along with her credit cards.
Sarah basically used her whole life savings and even the loan money from credit cards to send to this man. She literally lost everything on this man, and he didn't even video call her. Dude, Brian, drop her.
She is thy for thy streets.
She would buy gift cards and send the codes to John. John would receive the code and sell the gift cards on websites like Paxful, and the website will buy your gift card for around 80 cents on the dollar. She would then receive money from other people from around the world that John was also scamming. She'd take that money that she received and put it into Cash App. That's when she would send all of the funds to John's Bitcoin wallet.
So at the end of this all, this has become a crypto scam, and she has given away $250,000. It's like winning the lotto for these scammers. And in some cases, I mean, I don't know. Like, if you can just get that much money by saying you're hungry or whatever and using other pictures of people, it feels like it's a big reflection on society and how dumb a lot of people
Hey, don't
are,
put
that
this
they
on
can
us,
just
you
look at
motherfucker.
someone and feel like this person is looking at me. I feel validation. Let me give you all my money. That doesn't even feel like it should be real.
As far as you being online, has this been a lesson for you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Not doing this anymore.
She so is doing this again. She did that forward laugh. Not doing this anymore. That means that she's gonna do it again.
Sarah, I know you like being on the internet. You like making friends. For yourself, just stay safe.
This is what Drew wanted to say. Sarah, you get off the internet, okay? Please, fucking, just shut it down.
I learned my lesson. We will not be sending anybody money unless it's somebody.
No. Don't say the word unless. You lost $250,000. You're in financial ruin. I will not be sending anyone over the internet money. Full stop.
Like physically, like I'm delivering it to them, and I know who they are, and they're super close friends with me, or they're actually a family member of mine, and I am hand delivering it to them. I will never do this ever again.
That's a weird sentence. That's such a weird sentence. Okay.
This whole situation, where does this leave you and your marriage with your husband?
Right, so finally we asked about Brian. I really want to know the end result because he didn't come on 1 week later to actually meet up with the crew.
We've talked obviously about all of this, and right now Brian is pretty cool about everything. He's still in it for the long haul, just like I am, so.
Somehow that's not the answer any of us wanted to hear. We wanted to hear Brian has come to his senses. He left me, and now I live in a shack.
I mean, to be honest, I think you're lucky to have him for sure.
I know I am. I'm not blinded by that by any means.
Yeah, it's not that you're not blinded by that. It's the fact that you're blinded by the bulging penis of other people on Instagram that you seem to not be okay with your husband, or some reason there's something that you just don't like about him. Maybe you're not attracted to him, and you know what, that's okay, but that's a conversation you need to have because that's still a human being. And the amount of disrespect that I've seen in this episode is tantalizing almost.
I know I am extremely lucky to have him. I just now need to
figure out how you can make it up to him for $250,000, won't you?
Work on myself and figure out why I did the things that I did.
Sarah blocked John after this interview.
Honestly, man, Brian should block Sarah after this interview. Can we have some justice for Brian?
She filed a police report the following day, and we are submitting a KYC request. There's a high chance that we are able to go after the people that scammed her out of money.
I'm gonna submit a KFC request after this because I'm hungry. But also, that's how the episode ends. They asked to talk to Brian. He doesn't really come on camera, and I guess this is his relationship. But I looked at the comment section, and I mean, like, I'm gonna read them in order for you. What she did to her husband was so much worse than what the scammer did to her. Facts. This girl literally is like, it's this is like one of the few episodes I didn't care what the scammer did. He was a bit of a dodo head, but that's it. I mostly cared about how this woman willingly treated her husband of 22 years. There's a huge difference between being supportive and being a doormat. For once, the scammer was the least scummy person in the story. And then I thought this was a good comment. I've met people like Sarah before. My guess is that she spent her whole life saying she's quirky and weird to get away with not being a better, more responsible person. And imagine that, right? The fact that you can say, I'm quirky, and then have like a literal sentence where she said 2 minutes after, sometimes I don't realize how what I do might affect people. It's not an excuse, right? It never is. And it's just very sad, and I wish that Brian would actually maybe speak up, because there's no way that I feel like someone really feels like, oh, you lost 250K trying to pursue another man and see his ding dong because he is attractive and gives you validation. That makes me feel happy. I don't think so. So, justice for Brian. And if you're in one of these positions, message me. I'll get you out of it. I hope there's no one in this position. I was just joking. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you on the next one. I will see you very soon. More videos to come. Thank you.
Up a mountain and see if my dog's still alive. Where's Blood Clot? Blood Clot.
I forgot that
Blood
was his
Clot.
name.
Oh, he thinks he's.
Hello number ones, welcome back to my channel. This is the Metatron speaking, and today we are checking out a channel which we have already reviewed once a while ago. You guys loved it, and it's called V Birchwood. So the lady in question, the creator of this channel, is basically a historical reenactor, and she reenacts everything from ancient Rome to ancient Greece. I think mostly classical antiquity, but I mean, then again, Mesolithic makeover. It's I'd say that yeah, if it's human, she's gonna reenact it. Anyway, so the channel is fantastic, and we did check out the video where she was like, I think she was eating ancient Greek food for a whole week, and in fact her commitment is probably the one thing that stands out the most, apart from the accuracy of the historical images that she represents and brings back to life. I mean, look at this one. I wore ancient Greek clothing for 30 days. 30 days, guys. It's commitment. I mean, I recently made myself a video where I was only using 1980s tech for a week, and it's being edited. I'll post it on my third channel, link in the description to the channel, not the video because I'm still editing it. Useless piece of extra information. But that already, 7 days, is a lot of commitment. 30? Goodness gracious. So anyways, remarkable. What we've got today, however, is that she slept on an ancient Roman mattress for a week, and I am so looking forward first to the information on the mattress. I mean, I am into ancient Rome. I'm a Rome fanboy, but to be fair, if you were to ask me what was a ancient Roman mattress like, I would have no idea.
Well,
I love
buttress,
the fact that she's
I
got
think
already
mattress.
other things. Like here, I tried wearing ancient Greek bra. I mean, this would work for the Romans too, since those images, the mosaic, are specifically from the villa called Villa Romana del Casale. It's in Sicily, where I'm from. Anyways, let's jump right into it. I talk too much.
I really enjoyed the week some months ago where I tried sleeping on a medieval mattress for 7 days, but I made some choices during that shoot that I felt like I could improve upon in the future. I'm also a deeply curious person, so I felt like there was more to explore.
You wouldn't say.
in the realm of ancient mattresses. That's why I thought it'd be insightful and also fun to sleep on an ancient Roman mattress for a week, specifically one that an ancient Roman of a lower income might have available to them, minus the vermin like rats, bedbugs, and lice, obviously, since I really don't feel like introducing those into my house. You're likely wondering what ancient
We can use our imagination for that.
Roman sleeping practices entailed. Beds varied between economic classes, however, evidence seems to point to people of all classes owning real bedding and beds. This information actually quite surprised me, but when I thought about it logically, it made sense. If materials like canvas and straw were reasonably affordable even for the poorest individual, this wouldn't be so far-fetched.
Yeah, plus humans are very ingenious, and people really are good at finding ways to make do, particularly when they are people that have to face economic struggles. So the lower class is very ingenious as well with the things that they come up with, both from a dietary perspective, something that of course she's very well versed in, but in general, if you think about it, we often remember the ingenuity of the armorers and the architects and the philosophers and what are mathematicians, but it's the ingenuity, the inventiveness and ability to adapt and make the best out of what you have from the lower strata of society is something that really should have more focus. So I'm glad for this video.
For the mattress, Daily Life in Ancient Rome, the People and the City at the Height of the Empire, published in 2003 by Carcopino, states, on a base of interwoven strips of webbing were placed a mattress and a bolster, whose stuffing was made of straw or reeds among the poor, and among the rich of wool shorn from the Luconian flocks in the valley of the Meuse, or even of swan's down.
Interesting. So the Latin word is torus. Let me double check the phonemic vowel length, but my guess will be a long, or maybe the U is long as well. And I was completely wrong. Torus. Torus. No phonemic vowel length. Thank you, ancestors. Appreciate that the one time. Because usually I do the other thing. Usually it's supposed to be long, and naturally to me it's instead short as a modern Italian speaker. But this time, there you have it. So guys, torus. Retracted S at the end.
But beyond this, other materials may have been used as well. In section 97 of Petronius's Satyricon, it says, I stuffed the bed with clothes and arranged them in the shape of a man about my own height, sleeping by himself. Although this quote does not prove that stuffing a mattress with clothing was a common practice, it does show that people have always utilized whatever materials were easiest and most readily available. Bed frames were made of wood for wealthy individuals, such as the Lectus Cubularis, and archaeological evidence shows that these were generally constructed of Italian silver fir, though the wealthiest individuals may have imported expensive woods from abroad. And for poor...
For sure, yeah, and do keep in mind that there was a massive export of alpine wood from Italy to other areas. Even in the medieval period, a lot of archery and bows, for instance, particularly the famous English longbow, it's built not only using local wood, but also using Italian import. Because, of course, different woods have different characteristics, and do remember, and this is something I mention a lot, that, for instance, medieval ash would have been denser than modern ash, so sometimes specific choice, which might sound strange to us, may have to do not only with regional variation, but with time variation when it comes to the constituents used.
For individuals or enslaved individuals,
Oh, I got a
there
Hedwig.
was sometimes a bed called gravitas, which is sort of like a cot with netting. In Petronius's Satyricon in section 97 again, the author writes, I told Giton to get under the bed at once and took his feet and hands into the webbing, which held up the mattress on the frame. I ran into some issues in the planning of this project, mainly that I don't have woodworking or carpentry skills, nor the ability or financial position to be able to...
A wig head that unlocks more haircuts once picked up. It can also be placed in your base as decoration. Very cool.
to commission someone to make an ancient Roman replica bed.
Crowdfund it. Patreon. Do you have a Patreon? Let me see if she has a Patreon. Birchwood. Excuse me, I'm talking. Does she have a Patreon? The Patreon, there you go. How's she doing? All right. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, okay. Nice. She needs some support, guys. We need to get that bed. We need to get that bed. So leave a link to her Patreon. See if we can hit 1,000. That would be nice. I mean, it kind of depends on how the video goes. I don't know if people are interested in this kind of topic. My videos are always up and down. But hey, let's get her a bed, guys. Let's get her a Roman wooden bed.
Therefore, I had to come up with an idea that would not only have been feasible for the period, but also feasible for my budget and skill set. I read a fascinating article from the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, or AASM.org. The article was written by two MDs, Dr. Dimitrios Kantas and Dr. Valentina Gnoni. They described some of the sleep practices in ancient Rome, and at one point they mentioned, in contrast, there were no bedrooms for poor people. They lived in little houses called insulae that were buildings with multiple floors composed on different flats called synaculum.
It is fascinating to me that they call them insulae, because that's also the word for islands. But it's also used for apartment house. So, of course, island, that's the obvious if you're a Roman speaker. Apartment house, less obvious, but if you know a little bit of Roman town planning and civic structuring and organization, you would have heard of that. But I never heard them used specifically in this context. So, buildings for the poor. I mean, it makes sense because the apartments, I guess, yeah, sure.
Often a family used to live in only one big room in which the bed was a parallelepiped of walled up and plastered bricks on which there was the mattress. They also mentioned this mattress being a sack filled with dried vegetables, which I had no idea what this meant, as dried vegetables can be many things.
Anything, yeah.
It felt suddenly like there was an option that was possible for me that was also potentially historically accurate for ancient.
Yeah, and even like leaves, maybe, some parts of vegetable, not necessarily the parts you eat.
In Rome. I wasn't really able to find other sources mentioning these plastered brick foundations for beds, but this source felt solid enough, no pun intended, that I decided to go in this direction. Since quite a bit of evidence from ancient Rome shows us that straw would have frequently been used to stuff mattresses, I decided to opt for this material for my own stuffing. This felt very similar to my experience with the medieval mattress week, but there I used hay as it was a material more accessible to me, so this time I wanted to get my hands on some actual straw, as to make the experience even more similar to the actual ancient Roman one. Pillows or bolsters could be stuffed with a variety of materials, from wool or down to straw. In some cases, for those who couldn't afford additional materials, the pillow could even just be rolled up clothing. There isn't a...
I have used that, you know. I think in life sometimes you have to adapt. At the end of the day, rolled up clothing works. Won't give you the excellent support for like your spine and all that kind of stuff, but then again, it works. I think I would prefer rolled up clothes over a straw-filled pillow. Straw-filled mattress, sure, but straw-filled pillow, I don't know why, it just gives me this idea of I'm gonna puncture myself. Maybe not. Maybe it's just me. She'll let us know.
A ton of information about the materials used for the outer fabrics of the mattress or for the bedding, so I decided to just use my reasoning skills and go for hemp canvas for the mattress and pillow covers, since hemp was readily available and commonly used in ancient Rome for all sorts of different purposes. And for the bedding itself, I opted for linen and wool, both of which also existed in ancient Roman times. Regarding sleep practices, and take this all with a pinch of salt, as a lot of it is a possibility rather than a certainty, as evidence for ancient Roman sleepwear is quite scarce. But ancient Romans probably either slept without any clothing on, or they would sleep wearing their undergarments, such as the bust wrap called strophium, which I've experimented with in other videos, as well as subligaculum, or the loincloth, which I've also experimented with in a video. Additionally, sometimes a tunic would also be worn to bed over the undergarments.
I imagine if it was cold. One thing I just have to say it, guys, I don't know if it's just me, but looking at her with all this wool, I don't know about you, maybe it's the type of wool, but whenever I try this, it gets so irritated and I have to scratch myself all the time. But again, I think it has to do with the quality of the wool. I'm sure she's got some really nice quality of wool.
Without any clothing on, which I've experimented with in other videos, as well as subligaculum, or the loincloth, which I've also experimented with in a video. Additionally, sometimes a tunic would also be worn to bed over the undergarments. The ancient Roman tunic is very similar to the ancient Greek chiton, which I've made quite a few of. Now, there is evidence that medieval European people and even Victorians may have slept biphasically, or more so followed segmented sleep, meaning sleeping in two parts during the night. However, evidence seems to show that this is not the case in the same way for ancient Roman people. They likely had a siesta or a short sleep during the day, but would have one long sleep that went through the night, rather than waking up in the night and then going back to sleep again until morning, as was likely the case with medieval people or the Victorians. Laura Nissen states it was not necessary to sleep during the siesta, but other activities such as bathing could take place then. So the siesta likely didn't even mean only sleep, but just time for taking rest in general. I'm filming this introduction after I've already underwent my week-long experiment, and I'm very excited to share the results with you as...
She does look a little tired. Let's have a look.
She does look a little
Let's jump
tired.
Okay, so there is a sponsor. Good for you. Good for you. Take that money.
Exactly what I wanted as a mattress cover. I made some back stitches with waxed linen thread and tried to utilize the selvages whenever I could. Then I moved on to making a brick foundation. I laid some bricks side by side to create a base to set the mattress on top of. I'll explain in just a moment why I decided to do everything this way. I just carried so many bags of bricks and stacked them all, but the foundation is done. Thankfully, I'm actually standing on the brick platform right now. I want to get the experience of having the brick as a surface layer, which is why I'm only layering up one time, because I am not a bricklayer. I don't know how to plaster bricks together. And underneath the bricks, I just laid a bamboo mat, and obviously bamboo is not ancient Roman, but it's just the thing that I had because I didn't want the bricks scratching my wooden floor.
That's totally fine. Is her hair longer than mine? I don't know. Let me see. We got a little context here. Remove those freaking subtitles for a moment. So her hair reaches below her waist. This is the waistline, right? Because she's wearing this one up. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win here? I don't know. It's either very close or it's a victory for me, guys. Up to you to decide.
And I got straw this time, not hay, because yeah, there were so many comments about that on the medieval mattress video. It is really roughly cut though, so it doesn't have that full-length straw springiness, but it's what showed up. I'm not going to return 30 kilos of straw, and we're just gonna work with that. Having the brick foundation layer, literally, makes so much sense to me because sleeping directly on the ground, as I discovered in the last challenge, and also as I've discovered in my own life from backpacking a lot, it's very, very cold and get very cold quickly if you don't have enough insulation underneath you.
Interesting that she mentions the cold aspect of it. Sure, when I slept in Japan, because of course I lived in Japan for 4 years, and at first I had a futon for the first month, and even though futon is not directly sleeping on the floor, it's still extremely thin. For the Japanese, it's normal. But for me, my back hurts so badly, I would wake up in the middle of the night. So luckily, I upgraded to a bed in the sense that my employer gifted me a bed. Because you could see, it's like, okay, this poor Western guy is just, he's not going to do it. He's not going to make it. so like, you could see me in the morning, and I was like miserable. So he gifted me a bed, which I really appreciated, and that really made all the difference because I just need a freaking bed. Maybe it's not the same for you. Who knows? Maybe it's a back problem of mine. Maybe it's a spine problem of mine. I haven't got a clue, but I didn't have a good time with a futon. So sleeping on the floor, I wouldn't do it even for $1,000. I wouldn't do it. I mean, for 10,000, I might spend the night in. For 10,000, I would do it. For 1,000, no.
And not to mention, ancient Roman households, especially for poorer people, would have had a lot of vermin and things crawling on the floor at night. So yeah, you don't exactly want that on you whilst you're asleep, so sleeping directly on the floor would not have been a wise idea. That's why it makes so much sense to me that they would have some sort of plastered together brick configuration or some sort of foundation to then build on
Owl?
top of. Alright.
It's just
What are
funny.
you talking about,
to think
owl?
About it. She's literally sleeping on bricks.
People singing and dancing like on the street, it just feels weird because if you do that in Iran, like they can arrest you. Did you know that?
For dancing?
Like this, like it's a little eye rolly. Okay. That's actually good.
You're so good at it.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe iDubbbz and Anissa Jamha are real people. So 2 days ago on this video right here, I asked Santa Claus, I put out a message onto the world and I said, Dear Santa, if you could just give me one more Anissa Jamha iDubbbz video before the end of the year, I will be grateful. But it looks like Santa Claus was extremely generous, because not only did he give me that video, he also gave me the video that you and I are about to watch. And that's right, guys, we got our two white saviors here telling us how Iran is good despite the fact that these people have only lived in America and Canada. All right.
People singing and dancing like on the street, it just feels weird because if you do that in Iran, like they can arrest you. Did you know that?
For dancing?
Like this, it's a little eye rolly. Like, why are you presenting it like? It feels like he's fucking paid to do propaganda for
the U.S.
Yeah.
Like the U.S. Like.
So this is so strange to me because I'm seeing everyone having such a good time here, being so free.
And laughing.
But in Iran, you would be arrested on the spot for having any sort of joy.
Yeah, pretty big yikes. In their defense, Anissa Jamha and Idub's Jamha probably know more about Iran than the guy from Iran. I don't know, guys. Maybe that's a thing. I think what Idubs and his dumbass wife need to do before speaking on these type of issues, just Google Iran. Yes, I'm sure the people that have lived in fucking America and Canada their whole lives know more about Iran than the guy that's lived in Iran most of his life. I would assume him to know more about Iran than these two retards, but what do I know? I'm just a slob tuber. Like, imagine being this blind. Oh, this is just America propaganda. It's like these people are fucking insane. And just to answer some people that are gonna be like, well, you think America's perfect? No, I think it's quite far from it. In my opinion, if you've never been to Iran or any other country and yet you decide to speak up for it, I think you should honestly shut the fuck up because you have no idea about what you're talking about. They're just here to score virtual internet points. If you were to ask me, yo, Oscar, aka Sense, aka Sensitive Society, would you rather die or would you rather spend 10 minutes with Idubs and Anissa? I'm dying. I don't care. I always say suicide is never the option. In that situation, in that context, suicide is indeed the answer.
Good time here, being so free.
And laughing.
But in Iran, you would be arrested on the spot for having any sort of joy.
If you were ever feeling joy, they would arrest you in Tehran, Iran. Like, it's just so.
Yeah, it's a little over the top.
Yeah.
Listen.
These people are crazy.
Yeah, he's in a marabou up the
Yeah.
ass.
Maybe he's imagining too much. You're right, Psychonaut. Maybe he's imagining people dancing with their tits out in the U.S.
They're doing the fucking.
Maybe he's imagining it's so much worse.
This capitalism is so great.
Now, if anyone takes advice from a fallen off 40-year-old YouTuber that discovered empathy at 32, and a washed up OnlyFans chick, your life is fucking pathetic. If anyone takes these two goofballs seriously, at that point you cannot be saved and you deserve everything you're about to get sent your way. You don't need to go on ChatGPT and ask, is America better than Iran? And some people like Anissa might be like, wow, look at that Marabou. And then Anissa's mocking the guy's accent. It's like, what are we doing here? These are the empathetic YouTubers. If this is what empathy looks like, I never want to gain this ability. The way they're laughing, the way they're watching this, it's like, these people are just disgusting. I know these two are on the whole America bad. America deserves to burn and fucking die and get nukes launched at them. I believe they used to live in Vegas and then they moved to Canada to escape fascism. I'm not even kidding. It feels like they get all their talking points from Hassan Piker. That's legitimately the best way I could describe it.
I can feel the freedom.
Yeah. It's starting to make her uncomfortable.
What?
You can't have your dog
On a leash?
even on a leash.
Well, where are
in
you
the
supposed to
street.
keep it?
I don't know, at home.
Okay, so you don't know.
Everything has changed.
These people are so fucking stupid. Like, it's actually hurting me knowing that there's people like this out there. So the guy is describing his experience. Like, think of this for a second. Just imagine it. And I think people like Idubs and Anissa have a hard time putting themselves in other people's shoes. Imagine going to America for the first time. You got your visa. You paid the money. There's so much work, patience, and process for you to get a visa. Imagine doing all of that. You finally get your visa. You've been in Iran your whole fucking life, and it's a whole different thing you've never experienced before. So, of course, people dancing on the street, people singing, walking their dog, that's new to you. You and I, and Anissa and Idubs, we all take it for granted. That's just everyday shit, right? That's literally as normal as walking through downtown LA and seeing homeless people and people fucking doing fentanyl, right? It's as normal to see people jogging, right? And seeing people walking with their coffee and their dog. That's normal to all of us, but someone that's coming from Iran, that's a completely different thing. This is a brand new experience for him, and it's completely valid. The retard iDubbbz is like, oh, you know, the girl is even uncomfortable. She's just shocked that this is considered, I don't know, so mind-blowing for the guy. When for her, it's just everyday stuff. iDubbbz and Anissa are so close-minded that they don't see it like that. They don't put themselves in other people's shoes. Ignorant ass retards. I swear to God. And I think this is one of the worst things they've put out there. They should be embarrassed of themselves. But I think this is one of those moments when you realize, holy shit, these people are stupid. And it's not a gimmick or anything. These people are legitimately stupid.
Even on a leash.
Well, where are
in
you
the
supposed to
street.
keep it?
I don't know, at home?
Okay, so you don't know.
Everything has changed.
I just don't think you have
48
a
hours
dog,
ago,
bro.
Yeah.
I was in Iran. Everything was...
No shot, that's true. None of this is true. That's what's so annoying about it.
This is so...
This is going to be a lot of people's exposure to Iranians and Iranian culture. They're like, oh, I guess, well,
You can't have dogs in Iran. You can't put a dog on a leash.
he just grew up conservative. Yeah, and just didn't have...
Because a lot of Muslims don't have
Right.
dogs.
That's why you have to ask the follow-up question. Her follow-up question told you all that you needed to know. Like,
Where do
oh,
they keep it?
I have no idea. Okay, so you just don't know about dog culture in Iran.
That's so interesting.
Like,
Just saying whatever.
like you really, I have to be, yeah, I have to be careful about the words.
You can speak freely here. You're in America.
Are you shit? But they're going to come find me and they're going to drone strike me. The Iranian government will drone strike me if I say mean things.
Listen, he's planning on going back potentially, okay? And if he wants to travel back, he's got to be careful with what he says.
I wouldn't be opposed to them getting a fucking drone strike, honestly. These people, they need to go. Wait, is that Sense making a threat towards Anissa Jamha and iDubbbz Jamha that he wants them to fucking die? If you're a retard, you would think like that. I'm sure these two very privileged individuals know more about Iran and how strict they are, more than the guy that's actually from Iran. It feels like I'm losing brain cells as I'm watching.
This is America. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, the producers almost never say shit, and if they do, they'll cut it out.
Yeah.
Here specifically, they're like, no, let's make sure it's all in there. We want the full context. He's nervous in this moment.
Let's comfort him because he's now in the land of the free.
Everything's perfect here. We need to make it clear that people come here because they want our green cards.
I'm worried about my family. It just goes back to the politics stuff, and
It's not comparable.
yeah.
Okay, brother.
Are you ready to go home?
Is it gonna be way different than here?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I feel like I had a sunglasses in Iran that I could see everything darker, but here everything looks more colorful.
Well, it's Mardi Gras.
Dude,
It's
dude,
Mardi Gras.
he is talking like he's writing what is this? It's so performative. It's annoying.
He's writing a new American anthem.
Yeah, no.
New
You know what?
American-
It reminds me of when you're in English class or something. You're being taught a concept, and you need to demonstrate that you understand the concept of symbolism or descriptive writing by like overdoing it in your paper. You're like, I don't talk like this.
Now, let's just get the obvious out of the way, which I kind of touched on. Does America have issues? Yeah, a lot. But even with that, I think anyone, even if you're like super anti-America, you're like, man, fuck America, I hope they get 9/11 part 2. Despite all of that, I think most people, and once again, this is not even fucking America Glaze or anything, but I think most people, when you ask them, what do you think is the better country to live in? I think most would say America.
Yeah.
Such a big fat lie. Yeah, dude. Shit is. It's almost like he was waiting for someone to say, like, you mean like rose-tinted glasses?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
it's almost like I was swimming through a cloud of shit in Iran. But now that I'm here, all of the shit is gone.
And then he looks at the other camera and he goes, "Thank you, Donald Trump."
And livable. I can totally feel the freedom here. I told you 100
Okay,
times,
so
but
never go back.
I didn't feel like I'm still dreaming.
I mean, that's a big yikes for me. I think out of everything they've done, I think this is like top 3 worst things they've put out. It's like these people are just disgusting. So Anissa and IDubbbz Jamha, I'm really looking forward to the Iran vlog.
And now, a Whitest Kids You Know feature presentation.
In the year 1861, the tensions between the northern and southern states were at an all-time high. Enraged by perceived unjust taxation, the South saw itself as the victims of northern extortion. The North struggled desperately to...
What the fuck? Whitest kids you knows. Okay.
Hellcat Mike ruined his life. Who the hell is Hellcat Mike, chat? I'm assuming it's like an Instagram dude who takes pictures of his Hellcat all the time.
On February 4th, 2024, a trooper with the Texas Highway Patrol was traveling west of Houston on I-10, a section of highway called the Katy Freeway. Famously, it's one of the widest highways in the world, with up to 26 lanes, but currently is undergoing major construction until 2026. The trooper spotted a Dodge Hellcat with a suspicious license plate and something appearing to hang out of the trunk. Before the trooper even had a chance to engage his lights, the Hellcat punched it and the chase was on.
Wait, did his license plate say "will run"? Wait, is it that guy?
Westbound towards Brookshire, black Charger, New York plates, Mafia. Westbound. 216. We're still westbound on I-10. Trying to get visual on the vehicle. I'm not sure if he clicked the exit on.
Yeah, chat. 26 lanes are worth it. Yeah, screw public transportation. Am I right? We need more. We need more lanes.
4150 cup. He's still westbound on I-10. Westbound on I-10, inside shoulder towards Brookshire.
Quick math.
Westbound on I-10, coming into E-Blue, inside shoulder, passing all heavy traffic.
We need more roundabouts. I agree. We need a roundabout right in the middle of the interstate.
216, I'm switching over to Houston 1. Westbound on I-10, going towards Brookshire. You copy last traffic. We're headed into Brookshire.
Oh, the construction.
Traffic. We're still westbound on I-10.
Was he crashing? I couldn't tell what was happening.
He's in the inside shoulder, passing up heavy traffic.
Westbound I-10. Brookshire is only passing.
Sun's looking huge.
Go ahead and let
because it's getting closer, Chad.
Brookshire PD, SO. I think
it's
I'm
coming.
myself out here. Behind him on I-10 westbound.
Dude, imagine having a Hellcat and getting outpaced by a...
It's a good show. You watched it in college? Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Lock him in!
That's too funny.
Lock him in!
1050, he just hit a car, spin out.
Ah! What an idiot!
Control, he's still westbound on I-10. There's gonna be a Dodge pickup, gray in color, hauling a U-Haul that he struck from behind. stop.
He just gave up?
Get out the car!
He gave up? What a fucking loser. Oh, wait. Is that one of those, like...
Get out the...
It is! This is like one of those drag racing parachute things. Dude, bro thinks he's...
Car!
Bro
Get
thinks
out the
he's
car!
him. Let's just play Sesame Mafia. Oh, this guy is such a loser, dude.
Get out the car! Get out the car! Get out the car! Get out! They're out!
Dude, he comes out saying yes, sir, after speeding off and having all this shit on your car, looking like a badass. You come out, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, pull your hands up in the air. Who else is in the car?
My girlfriend.
Who else in the car?
My girlfriend.
All right, keep walking back. Keep walking back. Face that way. Face that way. Get back. Get back. Come back. Keep walking back. All right, pull your sweater up. Pull your sweater up. All the way up. Over your head. Pull your sweater up over your head. I want to make sure you have any weapons. Pull your, I don't care.
Bro
Just
thought
pull
he was
over.
in GTA.
Don't do anything stupid. I'll shoot you, man. All right, you hear me? Take your sweater off. Take it off. Take it off. Take it off. There you go. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Don't do anything stupid. You hear me?
Bro's got Supreme underwear. Like, what the fuck? Dude, that is like the most useless thing to buy. Like a Supreme shirt makes sense because at least you can see the logo. The Supreme underwear, you're just spending extra money for fucking no reason. No one's gonna see it.
Can you fart so hard your balls explode?
Thank you, Galia, for the 11 months.
Who is it in the car?
That's my girlfriend. She don't know nothing.
Okay, you're right here. You're right here.
Make sure you have any weapons.
You're there, 216. I got one in custody.
Why do they point the guns out? I don't know.
What's that? Why is it wet?
I think my soda.
Huh?
My soda.
He pissed himself.
Get over here. Don't do anything stupid. Face that way. Face that way. Face that way. Who is in the car? You in the car? Are you the only one in the car? All right, get out the car.
Dude, that traffic jam though, like think about that traffic jam. Dude, that's gonna be hours. That's gonna be hours before people in the back who are stuck back there. Oh man.
Bringing back up strip searches. Maybe it's reinforcing.
Bro, like, he's wearing a sweatshirt that says "Hog Life."
We'll see if,
is that like a skeleton hand with a middle finger?
Oh yeah. I'm just gonna place it in handcuffs.
Oh no, it's the rock symbol.
Oh, we can build a well now.
Louis Vuitton? But what?
Dope.
Ask if you can get your backpack. It's Louis Vuitton. Please, ask if you can get it.
I got the front female passenger thing as well. You're good? Are you good? Okay. Do you need a wrecker? Shoot at 216, Houston. Go ahead and send me a record.
With the suspects in custody, troopers would soon uncover the shocking details of where the suspect got the Hellcat.
Boss man, it's nothing in there. I just knew I had no bigger job in that car.
It's stolen?
No, it's my friend's car.
Okay, just hang tight,
No, that's not even your car. Oh my god.
This sweater on, please.
Huh?
Can I grab this sweater? I'm not too big.
Damn, look at them boobs though. Holy shit.
I know.
God damn.
I'll talk to you in a little bit, man.
Yes, sir.
Let me put this over you.
Damn.
Will she be able to get her back? And what about my dog?
In a little bit, man. In a little bit. I'll probably won't take her in.
Okay. What about my dog, though? Can she leave with my dog?
Yeah.
Hey!
I'll talk to her in
There's a dog in the car with you?
Take a seat.
Okay, like these edits, man. These edits. You gotta work on these edits, bro. This is just... What channel is this? Midwest Safety. It's a recent Midwest Safety video. I don't know what the fuck these edits are, man. I guess Officer John had his hand in the edits this time, I guess.
Are you all blocked? Yeah, I got you. I'll strike the floor. I'm sorry about that, guys. Y'all good? Nothing, need medical attention, anything like that? No? Okay, I'm sorry about that. He hit you just right here when he tried to cut y'all off? Yeah, I gotta get the check. I gotta check the trailer too. It's a rental trailer. Yeah. Okay. Well, if you want, we can walk it and that we can visually see, okay?
They let y'all officer.
She don't know nothing, boss. I f***ed up. She don't know.
He doesn't know. What doesn't she know?
Hey, Alfonso.
I'm pretty sure she knows you ran from the cops. I mean, I think.
We're gonna search her, pat her down. We're gonna search her bags and everything in the car. Then if there's no drugs or anything like that, then I'll let her. I'll release her. Okay? Okay. Come in.
Chad, she got her Louis Vuitton bag.
Where's your driver license? You got it on you or in the? Do you have?
I didn't bring it. I just had my phone.
Okay. I see. Well, we're gonna search the car anyways. Do an inventory. Are those the actual plates of that vehicle?
Man, they let him in the front seat? Maybe because he's tall. But, like, damn.
The New York Mafia? Or they're fake? Or...
I go to the San Antonio. I live in San Antonio.
I'll talk to you here in a little bit, man. Okay. What we're gonna do, I want to take pictures and like search it better and all that when we get to the next. So I'm gonna take pictures real quick and then we'll relocate it. It comes back to expired.
Yeah, I think we need more officers. I'll be honest.
M tag. It's coming back to a Dodge Charger.
Bro, what's up with this?
I think it's like a parachute, maybe.
Bro, that dog was probably fucking terrified, man. Oh my god, it's such a cute puppy, bro. Such a cute dog.
Hey, bro, take her cuffs off so I can put them on him. It's gonna be so.
Let me see. So I'm just taking them off right now. Okay, you're still detained. What's in the car that belongs to you? Louis Vuitton bag?
Wait, so not only does she have a Louis Vuitton purse, she has a Louis Vuitton bag as well? And he's got Supreme underwear? Talk about wasting fucking money. Holy shit.
Your dog and what else? Okay.
What you worried about? I just ran from the police. You ain't never ran from police before? You ever been in jail before? Did 6 years in the pen. You said what now? I did 6 years in the pen. See, I thought I thought it was a gun in that car. Oh, man.
So we're going to relocate the stop to a gas station further up ahead, okay? So depending on what's inside the vehicle when we do our inventory, I'll decide whether to let you go or not. Okay? Hey, way station.
Yeah.
Way station.
Troopers trained in traffic incident management work quickly to reopen lanes to avoid dangerous secondary crashes that frequently occur in traffic.
Wait. What just happened? No!
Trained in traffic incident management
No!
work quickly to reopen lanes to avoid dangerous secondary crashes that frequently occur in traffic
Not
backups.
again! It's happening again!
I work on Hellcats.
Well, I was just going to give you a warning for the...
Why is it always a motorcycle, chat? Why?
License plate cover, and your registration doesn't come back on that New York. So, that was going to be the reasons why you got stopped. But I saw you through the rearview mirror. You looked at me, and then you took off. Those vials inside the driver's side door, are those prescribed to you, or did you get those illegally? Okay. Yeah. So your girl was saying that this car is yours, it's not yours.
Yeah, I mean, this is like my side chick.
It's his side chick. So he's trying to impress his side chick by saying that he owns that Hellcat. Oh, bro. Oh, bro. That's oof. That's a yikes for me, dog.
This is my side chick.
Okay.
Oh yeah, y'all get my keys so she can just go to my house.
Whatever you want to do, man.
Please. She me back to San Antonio.
Hey, but in all honesty, what you did was reckless. You know, you could have gone yourself killed.
It is the nicest I've ever seen a cop treat someone who ran from the police. I'm just going to say that because he's riding in the front. I mean, it's probably because he's really tall and really huge. But, like, this is the nicest I've ever seen a cop. Especially when he's black, yeah.
Your girl killed, the dog killed, you could have gotten other motorists killed the way you're driving, you know what I'm saying?
Not bad, I wish I could have stopped. You know what I'm saying? I'm fresh. Like, I just moved out here, like, not a week.
From where?
San Antonio. Like, I was going to San Antonio right now. That's where my shop is in San Antonio.
Okay.
Oh, y'all put my backpack in the trunk. I thought it was in the back seat.
Hey, bro, I ain't that big, bro. I ain't as big as this dude. Come on now.
Dude, they like talking about how big he is.
Do you have a Yamaha? Do you have a flashlight with you? Do you have a flashlight? Yeah.
Bro, they hot.
I want it back.
Where the dog? Oh, you took the dog?
Kind of surprised that Texas cops are decent. Yeah, I'm really surprised by, like, just how they're acting in general.
Oh, this with Rogers.
Kenny Rogers?
Yeah.
Wait, what happened?
Yeah, that's why I won't stay running either. Because all the other getting
Louis Vuitton.
I think states like Texas and Florida, the reason their cops are so chill is because they have some like what is it, like independence, like they can actually do their job. They're not like hung up on stuff, worried about other stuff. They're very freed up to be like, oh, this is, you know, the right thing to do, or this is what I can do. I think they still probably have a bunch of human errors, you know. There's probably some bad ones, but it does seem like a lot of the police officers from there seem to be in, I don't know, better spirits most of the time. Even when bad stuff's happening, it seems like they're like, you know, it's just another day, but, you know, we can handle it. It seems like most cops, they're either the fake nice or they're just like fucked in the head.
Baton fanny pack.
Check everything. Yes, sir. What is this like? It's a parachute.
That's the nicest cop. Please watch cop vids from other countries. Okay, I never said that's the nicest cop. I said this cop is being nicer than I expect. Which, what I expect is cops to be complete assholes. So, yeah, it's a plus.
Well, do we need consent if there's drugs? I mean,
Do you have drugs in there?
It smells like weed, and yes, we don't. Okay.
Yeah,
Not weed.
And up on the steroids.
Yeah. So. Okay.
Battery cooler and better weight distribution. Oh.
All right. Just want to make sure. Yeah, he said one. He said there were tests and trims, so that's the illegal one. I mean, they're.
You also don't mean all cops ever? No, I mean all cops.
Essentially, they're both illegal if he doesn't have prescription.
Yeah,
right?
I don't have prescription for it. So these are from Mexico.
Yeah, so let's take pictures. You check underneath the seat just in case there's a gun.
I do.
Just want to make sure he doesn't have a gun hidden somewhere in here.
At the end of the day, chat, I hate everybody. I think that could like clear me of everything. Is I could just be like, I hate everybody. Everybody fucking sucks. You know? Like,
True.
Yeah, I hate everybody. You guys suck. Make sure to subscribe.
Said he was scared that there possibly could have been.
Right.
Boss man, can she take the backpack still? The black Louis Vuitton? See, he He's saying you should take the black Louis Vuitton.
How many Louis Vuitton bags do they have? They got a fanny pack, they got a backpack, they got a purse.
Yes, sir. But my girlfriend can take it home if that's fine. That's just my car keys in there. I mean, my house keys. And she can take it home, please. This whole thing. Yes, sir. Up, man. But it's a customer's car.
You know what? At least he's owning up to it. Seemed like a loser, seemed like a douche, but he's winning me over. Because most people don't do this. They don't actually accept that they fucked up.
On Hellcats, I panicked. As far as I put the bull play, I fucked up. I gotta pay for that, now because I'm doing work. Like I work on Hellcats, so I was gonna do some upgrades to it. That's all.
Your work don't involve joyriding.
Right.
I mean,
correct.
Like I can't talk to.
Correct. You right.
Is your phone?
Yes, sir. That's my son. Okay. So I'm being charged with, boss?
Okay, do I need to look up who Hellcat Mike is? Like, is he like a Hellcat Mike? Oh. Oh. Wait, he only has like 15,000 followers. Like, can you even consider that, like, relevant? I have 20,000 followers. That makes me cooler than him.
Evading and for the controlled substance.
Prove it. Where's my fucking 22,000. I am. Oh. Whenever I get arrested, that's what they're gonna put in the title. Because I'm so famous.
Hey, I'm sorry. Are y'all taking the tow truck, getting the tow truck, or are you gonna be able to drive it? Okay.
Hey, Mom, I'm going to jail. I'm in a police car. Listen, I'm in the police car. I'm going to jail to Walden County for running from the police.
Fort Bend County.
For Fort Bend County. My phone failed at the Bend. So listen, tell D-Dot to give you Chelsea phone number because she got my money.
I always read your channel name as Bionic Piggy T. Ha 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 ha. That's not
Bionic Piggy T.
That's not funny. Okay, so I think the rest of this is just gonna be let's just. It's just gonna be yapping for the next 5 minutes about nothing.
Watch too much YouTube. YouTube, they get away.
Y'all take care.
Yes, sir.
Alright, let's watch this video about...
Do you trust Pew Research?
PSO got mindset when a sub 5 gets reality check, modern marriages. Well, let's see. Oh, I know this podcast. I know this whatever podcast. So, let's see here. Let's see what we got here. Disclaimer: this video is strictly for entertainment. Okay.
I think Pew Research is a good source. Yeah.
So, according to Pew Research, women who get married as virgins are far less likely to cheat than women who don't.
Yeah, I think there's a correlation versus.
Up to, well, actually, it gets higher by everyone. The metric gets higher.
Is this the same study?
Women have a duty to keep the.
This guy's probably based.
Family intact as well. They're responsible for most of the divorces. They file for the most amount of divorces, not because of abuse, but because of irreconcilable differences. And when asked, I don't feel fulfilled. But Charlie, I just think honestly, you're too stupid to understand them.
So Andrew, can I sell you on my worldview?
Yes.
Your wife has 3 baby daddies and has been married twice before.
And
Under
you
under
lick sniz.
Under your religion.
You lick sniz.
What does that
You're
mean?
a dyke. Don't talk about my wife, you stupid bitch. Shut your mouth.
So before he was exposed, he used to run.
Okay, that's actually kind of brutal. I'm not gonna lie from him. I thought he was based, like in general, but I did not know that. That's kind of brutal.
On his mouth about virginity, body count,
That's
and
brutal.
purity. That was one of his favorite subjects.
It's even easier. Let's say your little son Jack comes over to you at 19
That's
years
kind of
old.
crazy, man.
And all things equal, Jack has the choice between 2 women. They both adore him. They're both beautiful. They both have what you would consider to be great virtues. But one of them had a past that was highly promiscuous, and the
Any studies on long hair being more attractive? I don't know any studies, but I think just generally speaking, most people would agree that longer hair men looks better.
other one does not. Which one would you want Jack to end up with?
Well, are you asking me? Because
Yeah.
my personal, whichever one he felt like he wanted to pursue.
That would mean nothing to you for little Jack. You'd be like, don't worry about it. Sure, she sucked 100 in a blow-thon. Move past it. Leave the
No, I think his IPD is fine. It's just this negative pudding.
How do you get invited to this? Hold on. Because this stemmed from like the advice to have girls wait and be less promiscuous.
Okay, and then he was talking to me about it.
Hold on.
It's my answer off of.
Yeah, but nobody's doubting that Reformation is not only possible, but is key to the Christian ethic. But that does not erase your previous deeds. It does not erase your past, that just because you have been redeemed, the past no longer exists.
But then when you bring his own wife into the equation, he becomes defensive and starts crying around.
Shut your stupid bitch mouth.
Your wife with the 3 baby
What did I just say?
Your
Dyke?
wife with the 3
Sorry,
baby
I'm sorry,
daddies.
Dyke.
Okay. It's just aggressive.
Okay. So what I'm going to
He
do
loves
is,
crashing out.
First thing I'm going to do is explain to you what most Christians believe about their religion, okay? This is called the Orthodox or the canonical perspective. Okay, so this is what you're taught officially by the church. Christianity has many different factions, but they all believe in a certain interpretation of the Bible, okay? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the apocryphal. Apocryphal just means hidden, okay? Or secret, or esoteric. Just a secret knowledge that is kept within these secret societies. All right, so the Orthodox canonical comes from a reading of the Bible. And the Bible, at its core, is a story of the covenant between God and humans, okay? Covenant. Covenant means contract or understanding. So throughout the Bible, there are a series of covenants, okay? The first covenant is between Adam and God. So you may have heard of the story of the Garden of Eden, right? God creates the universe, then creates the Garden of Eden where he puts Adam and Eve. And God says to Adam and Eve, this is paradise. You don't have to work. Just enjoy life. The food is free. The food is plentiful. Every day you'll be happy and free of want. You will live forever. But there's only one thing that you must not do. And only one thing, okay? Whatever you do not eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Just don't do that and you'll be okay. So of course, what do Adam and Eve do? They eat the stupid fruit, okay? So then what God does is he banishes Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden, and now they're forced to work to grow food to feed themselves, okay? And this leads to society, okay, development of society. God looks down from the heavens and sees that humans now are going to war. they are fighting their private property. And God says, I don't want this crap. This is not why I created humans. Okay? So he's like, you know what? I'm going to destroy everyone and start over. But then he sees a human that he likes named Noah. And this leads to God saying to Noah, build a ship, build an ark, and save yourself because I will flood the universe. I will destroy the world. So God destroys the world and Noah lives. And then God says to Noah, you know what? That's kind of silly. I shouldn't destroy the universe. I promise never ever destroy the world again. Okay, that is his covenant with Noah. But God sees that humans are still wicked and evil. And he says, you know what? I need to find a man who is good. And I need him to grow a nation that can be the light of the world, that will be the best example of what it means to be a good person. So he finds a man named Abraham, and Abraham, of course, is the father of a nation called Israel. And so this is the third covenant. God says to Abraham, you and your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren are now loyal to me. I see you as the chosen people, and I give you the promised land. Okay, that's what Israel is, a promised land. Over time, what happens is that Abraham and his people, they go off to Egypt. And in Egypt, they become slaves to the Pharaoh of Egypt. And then God is like, you know what? I should check up on the Israelites and see how they're doing. He looks down and he says, oops, they're now slaves to the Pharaoh. So I need now to fix this, okay? So he appoints a man named Moses to free the Israelites from Egypt and take them back to the promised land. When Moses does this, God says, now what you must do is give the Israelites my law, the 10 Commandments. Okay? The law. Because otherwise, I can't trust you guys to behave. Okay? So now this is the fourth covenant. So now the Israelites are back in the promised land, but again, and even though there's laws, they still become wicked and they start to worship false gods. So God punishes them, and God is now looking for a good leader of the Israelites. And then finally he finds a person named David who becomes the king of the Israelites. And God says to David, you are the person I've been looking for all of eternity. You are the best example of what it means to be a faithful follower of me, Yahweh. Okay? And so this is something called the Davidic covenant. The Davidic covenant states that God will always favor Israel as the chosen nation. And the house of David will rule Israel forever. Okay? So guys, quick question here. Who wrote the Bible? Probably this guy, okay? Right? If you have to guess who wrote the Bible, probably not Moses, probably not Abraham, probably not Noah, probably not Adam, probably this guy, okay? Because he's saying that all of these five, okay, I am the best. I'm the person that God loves the most. My family will rule the world because that is God's will. Okay? Now, of course, that's not what happens. Eventually, David has a son named Solomon, and these two are considered the two best rulers of Israel. And this is what we call the Davidic kingdom, okay? The Davidic kingdom, the golden age of Israel. But after Solomon, the Israelites turned wicked again, and then God has to punish them and scatter Israel across the world, okay? And so the last covenant is the arrival of Jesus. What Jesus does is that, first of all, he reasserts the law of Moses and say to the Israelite people, remember Moses and his law, because that's what God wants. Then he sacrifices himself in order to free the Israelites of the original sin. Right? Because God's pissed off at people because people ate the fruit. That's the original sin. That's the first crime of disobedience against God. So by killing himself, Jesus frees humanity of the original sin. He redeems humanity. Okay? Now, the last thing that Jesus does is he creates a new covenant. Okay? A new covenant between humanity and God. From now on, because Jesus has freed everyone from the original sin, everyone can now be with God. You don't have to be Israelite. You don't have to follow the Mosaic law. You don't even have to come from the family of David. Anyone and everyone can now love God, and God will love that person back, okay? And this, of course, starts Christianity. All right, so this, guys, is called Judaism, what the Jews believe. Okay? And this is, all 6 is what Christians believe, Christianity. All right, the first 5 covenants are what Jews believe to be true. But they do believe that eventually someone will return to restore the kingdom of David, okay? But not Jesus. Not Jesus. The Christians believe that Jesus is the final prophet. Okay? In fact, Jesus is God himself. That's why it's called Christianity. Because they believe in Jesus Christ. So this is the entire history of Judaism and Christianity. What they believe, officially. Any questions before I move on? Okay, so now as you can understand, if you are a true Christian or you're a true Jew, there are actually lots of issues with this understanding. Okay? The first issue is, why did God have to kick us out of the Garden of Eden? I mean, was eating of fruit so bad as to banish us from paradise? Like, what was wrong with eating that fruit? Okay, that's a great mystery in the religion. Why did the original sin happen? And why was God so angry? Second problem is Noah. I mean, like, God destroyed the world because we were wicked. But after he destroyed the world, we were still wicked. So why did God have to destroy the world in the first place? If he's God, then should he understand how humans are? Wouldn't he understand that destroying the world would just, I mean, it doesn't really do anything, okay? So that's kind of strange. The last problem is Jesus. Who was Jesus? And why did he have to kill himself? Why did God have to send his only son to die for humanity? Okay, so if you're new to Christianity, the very idea of Jesus actually doesn't make much sense to you. I grew up in the West. I grew up in a Christian world, and it never made sense to me, okay? People told me about how great Jesus was, like, okay, the story doesn't make any sense. So if you're a really smart person, there are lots of questions about this interpretation of the Bible, and these are the 3 major ones. Okay? So now what I will do now is I'll explain to you what the esoteric, what secret societies believe really happened. Okay? So I want to start with Noah. Why did God destroy the world? The reason why God destroyed the world is not because of humans, but because of something else. These people are called the Nephilim. Okay, also, by the way, if you guys are interested in learning more, there are 2 books that are not part of the Bible, but which will give you insight into the esoteric knowledge, okay? The first is called the Book of Enoch. Book of Enoch.
I want this book.
The second is called the Gospel of Thomas.
I want this book too.
Okay, all right. So I am using these 2 books as sources for my explanation, okay? So the Nephilim are children of angels and women. Okay, so what happened was that the angels who were supposed to watch humanity came down and saw, wow, these humans, these females are really beautiful. So what do? Well, they have sex with them, right? And then what happens? They have lots and lots of children. And what do these children do? These children enslave humanity. These people are called Nephilim, okay? So if you want to understand what happened, let's do a thought experiment. Let's just say that there's this group of superhumans called the Avengers. You know, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, okay? And they fight Thanos and they save the world. And now what do? Well, they're bored, so they start to have lots and lots of sex. They have lots and lots of children. And these children now are like demigods, right? So what do? Well, they enslave humanity. But then what do? Well, they start fighting amongst themselves. Okay? So that's basically what happened. So God had to destroy the Nephilim because they are not natural. Angels and humans are not supposed to have sex with each other. And this creates a new power called the Nephilim. The problem, though, is the Nephilim are divine, and therefore they cannot be killed. So you can get rid of their mortal bodies, but now they become demons who live underground and are in the shadows. And guess what, guys? They're still here today. So these two societies, they believe the Nephilim are real, and they still control the world. The richest people in the world are actually Nephilim. Okay? Because they've been around for thousands of years, and therefore they're able to control the development of humanity. Okay, so they're called the Nephilim. So that's easy to understand. But now the question then is, wait a minute, why did Adam eat that fruit, and why did Jesus have to kill himself? Well, now it gets really complicated. Okay? So now I need to explain to you what the secret societies believe. Okay? Remember, they believe that mind leads to matter. What does that mean? Okay? Let me explain what this means. Mind leads to matter. In the beginning, the true God is called the monad. Okay, the one. So just think of this as the core of the universe, the sun, the divine sun. The monad is so powerful that when he breathes, okay, he vibrates divine energy. And over millions of years, this divine energy creates new life forms. Okay? So the first life form are called the dyads. Dyads are just pairs, okay? Usually male, female, that are children of the monad. And they're able by themselves to create new universes as well, okay? So the dyads start to emanate, okay? So the entire universe is vibration. It's vibrational energy. It's the breathing of these cosmic beings, okay? And over time, over millions of years, these vibrations become atoms, which then leads to matter, okay? That's what they mean by mind leads to matter. Now, one of these dyads, named Sophia, decides, you know what? I can be just as good as the monad. What does the monad do? The monad is able to propagate by itself, by himself. He doesn't need to mate. So Sophia says, you know what? I'm going to produce something by myself. I'm going to have a child by myself to prove I am the monad, okay? So she does this, and she creates a new being, okay? A new being. This is called the demiurge. There are different names. We'll call him the demiurge. The demiurge is a monster, a monstrosity, because it goes against the natural order. So then Sophia's like, oops, I shouldn't have done that. So what does she do? She abandons the monstrosity. She throws him away and hides him in a sea of clouds. So no one knows he actually exists. Okay? Even the demiurge doesn't know he exists. The demiurge does not know about this world, right? Therefore, he believes that he must be the one true God, capable of creating new life. So what does he create? Us. Okay? He creates the planet Earth. And then he creates Adam and Eve. Okay? That's what a monster would do, okay? Look at this history. What kind of God would kick someone out of paradise for eating a fruit? A monster would do it, right? What kind of God would kill a people for no particular reason? A monster would do that, okay? What kind of God would demand that a people be loyal to that person? A monster. What kind of God would enforce his will on a people? A monster. What kind of God would say to someone, you're the only person I like, everyone else I hate? A monster would do that. Okay? So, in other words, the true secret that these secret societies are trying to keep is the God we worship today is the false God. And we are actually in a prison created by this false God. And that's who Jesus was. Jesus was a cosmic being sent by the monad to tell us the truth about the world. And that's why he died, because the Roman Empire could not allow people to see the truth. If I told you the truth, you would know it right away. You would wake up. Therefore, the truth tellers must be killed. Okay? So that's what these secret societies believe. They believe that the monad exists, and the mind of the monad is what creates the universe. And Jesus was sent to remind us that even though we're in a prison, there's still the monad in you. There's a spark in you, a divine light in you that you can activate. And if you activate it, then you will return to the monad. You will see the truth for yourself. And when you die, your soul, which is part of the monad, will want to return to the monad and can escape this world. But to activate this light, you must be a good person. You must love one another. You must reject money and materialism. And grades, okay? Grades in school. You must reject competition. You must reject material wealth in order to pursue spiritual happiness. Okay? That was the message of Jesus. Now you can imagine that the powers that be, the Nephilim, were not like this, okay? It's a direct threat to Nephilim, who now control the prison created by the demiurge. It's also a direct threat to the demiurge. And that's why these secret societies have been, over the centuries, been repressed, been executed, okay, been massacred. But they believe that it is their duty to protect this secret, because only by protecting the secret can humanity be ultimately saved. Right? Does that make sense? Okay. Any questions? Right? So.
Damn, that whiteboard looks crazy. Okay. I'm going to nap. I love you dearly. I love you so much. So much. I'm going to try and be up when you get home so that we can sleep together tonight. I would love. I did eat. I've been snacking this whole time. You haven't seen, but I've been snacking. I love you. I sleeps now. I will miss. But I will see you soon, because I'm going to pass out and then wake up and you'll be home. Yeah, I wish I could stream for you more. Just gotta get sleeps. Okay. I love you. I'll see you soon. Mwah.